Hello, everybody, and welcome into Lightning Round.
No, it's Greg Zerline.
No, oh,
I don't even know these people.
You have my solemn vow we are done at wide receiver.
Impemba said fold.
Till the next round.
This is sitting on top of my Scott Fishbowl trophy.
I have a cup for Cooper Cup, I guess.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 months of waiting. It's finally over until we can speculate more for another 4 months once these players get drafted to their teams. If you are not familiar with us, especially for you on the Fantasy Alarm YouTube, we are Lightning Round, of course. My name is Kevin Tompkins, writer for Fantasy Alarm. Britt Flinn, also Fantasy Alarm, Fighting Chance Fantasy. Mr. Andrew Cooper, lead NFL analyst for Fantasy Alarm. And the Scott Fishbowl 9 winner, Gary Haddow. How we doing? It's draft night.
I'm so good. I'm just gonna go first. Like I woke up at 4:30 in the morning and I posted this on Twitter, but I'm just gonna say it again. I woke up at 4:30 in the morning, like just stoked and ready to go because this is my Christmas and I'm so absolutely excited.
Bro,
I cannot wait.
I'm fired up, dude. Howard just gave my job to Scott Fish's 9-year-old son, Ian Fish, live on the radio. So I guess I don't got to hold anything back this draft. You know, you did say that I was in the running to potentially be his assistant, bring him coffee when he's old enough to drink that. So yeah. So I guess I can say whatever I want now. Cheers.
Yeah, you're good. If you're wondering also, we've made a lot of references to Fantasy Alarm. We did announce last week that we now are powered by Fantasy Alarm, the Lightning Round, this whole menagerie going on here. So you can expect a lot more kind of collaboration. Obviously, we write for 3/4 of us write for Fantasy Alarm. So it's only fitting that we get underneath the umbrella. Certainly a lot of thanks go out to Howard Bender, Jon Impemba, Spotlight Sports Group. Just an amazing opportunity and can't wait to see what the future holds. And it all begins tonight on our longest stream of the season.
It's going to be amazing. It's so amazing to see your guys' beautiful faces, to see Axel's chat going there. I mean, this is going to be a night that we'll never forget. I got to walk down the red carpet to get to this seat, and it was glorious. The reporters were a little relentless, wondering where I've been, but other than that, it's been amazing.
Dude, nobody asked me a single question. I was like that European basketball player when Zion got drafted, and literally there's nobody asking questions. Everybody, all the reporters are over at Gary Haddow. Gary, how'd you win the Scott Fishbowl 9? How did you know Darren Waller would blow up? I'm like, dude, come on. Give me one question.
Like, have you checked out Coop's tight end article? That's out.
Apparently, they just want to know.
Fantasy Alarm.
They just want to know how you took down the biggest and most important fantasy football league there's ever been.
No big deal.
Not a big deal. Yeah.
It's fine.
NBD. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Of course, we will be having some guests, Jon Impemba, Dan Servodidio, Joey Cartolano, all of Fantasy Alarm. And we will be having some giveaways too, as when those guests come on during the draft, we'll be giving away some Fantasy Alarm NFL draft guides. We'll also be giving away, if you have been on Twitter and followed us on the channel, followed our Twitter account at LR Fantasy, a Justin Jefferson jersey. We will be giving that away later on tonight. Lot going on. I'm excited. I'm ready for this draft to just kick off, and I want to see what Jacksonville's going to do, because usually we kind of have some idea of what Jacksonville's going to do. The betting market is on Trayvon Walker, but, it's anybody's ball game.
Evan Neal plus 3,000 odds yesterday, up to plus 2,000. Let's go. Let's make mama some money.
Ooh, that's a spicy one, Britt. I love that. Yeah, this is a question I want answered right here. So Joseph Moore asked, hey, are any of you Vikings fans, or was Jefferson's jersey what was donated for the giveaway? Kev?
I have never drafted a running back in my life. I'm a big wide receiver guy, Packers fan, so I know all too well the pain of Justin Jefferson and how good he is. So one of my favorite players in the NFL. Hate to see him on the Vikings for probably the next decade, but he's a stud. And, what better jersey to give away than one of the best wide receivers going in the National Football League?
How's that for impartial takes right there? The Packers fan went out and was like, you know what? This is the guy. This is the jersey to give away. And I mean, if you really think about it, he's an absolute monster. He's not only on the team for the next 2 years, just based on the rookie contract, but they're going to pick up his 5th round option. So I think about that when I buy jerseys. I don't know about you guys. The first jersey I ever bought was Ben Coates right after he retired. I was like, Ben Coates can never get traded now. This jersey's locked in. Because I don't know, like, Kev, you've had guys get traded with the jerseys, no? Change their numbers.
There's one right there.
Yeah, right? Adams, and you've guys change their numbers.
One right there.
Yeah, Woods, dude. Like, it's crazy. So that's when you're talking about jerseys, sometimes you got to talk about like dynasty. Like, is there going to be some longevity to this? If a guy signs a second contract, a big long contract, that's the time to buy the jersey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I messed up when Felix Jones got drafted 1st round by the Cowboys, because obviously Arkansas, and he was part of that trio with McFadden and Peyton Hillis, who, unfortunately McFadden went to Oakland, where at that point careers went to die. But I was like, Felix Jones with the Cowboys, Arkansas, let's go. And he hung out for 2 years, and I have no idea where that jersey even is now.
Peyton Hillis, man. You're bearing the lead of those 3 backs. Peyton Hillis, he's the man.
But then he got the Madden curse, dude.
He did. What a weird season. Browns always seem to pull out that one random player. Who was the tight end? Jordan Cameron?
Or is it Cameron Jordan?
I remember people
is it
being
Cameron Jordan. I don't even know.
I remember people being like, "Yo, it sucks that Jordan Cameron has the same name as Cameron Jordan," and then it turns out that tight end just had like one good year, and Cameron Jordan was way better. I think Cameron Jordan, the defensive end from the Saints, right? He's actually announcing one of their picks tonight, or maybe the 2nd round pick.
Well, definitely worth announcing here with Fantasy Alarm. The NFL DFS Pro, it's on sale right now. And with that, you get the NFL Draft Guide, you get the cheat sheet, which, by the way, the Draft Guide, we will be giving away several of those throughout the night. So make sure that you are paying attention and sticking with us in the chat as we go through these picks. All the seasonal content on Fantasy Alarm, all the DFS content, the premium Discord where, experts left and right, myself, Coop, Britt, Jon Impemba, everybody you can think of, all the great writers of Fantasy Alarm will be in that Discord answering your questions on the DFS side and on the Fantasy Alarm side. That is 30% off until May 1st. Use code NFL Draft. Plus, you also get, if you're into baseball, you get the MLB DFS Pro as well included with that. So fantastic deal. Like I said, good until May 1st with that.
And that Fantasy Alarm has a really good track record of making people a lot of money in DFS. So
we got a millionaire last year, I believe.
Yeah.
That millionaire. So the funny thing is we did the contest, the draft contest, where if you get it perfect, you get a lifetime membership. The guy that won $1 million, Mike, he's a lifetime member, and he bought it back a few years ago and has been a member for a long time. So you love to see that. You love to see a guy that's been sticking with Fantasy Alarm all this time now be a millionaire because of Fantasy Alarm, So shout out to Mike, dude. Shout out to the people that got that deal. And to be honest, I haven't been with Fantasy Alarm as long as Impemba, but they got rid of the lifetime membership for a little while there. They finally brought it back, and honestly, it's the best deal running right now. You get access to everything.
Well, I think they only brought it back especially for this contest. I don't think it's something that you can purchase. So yeah. So it's a big deal.
Absolutely.
There's
we see
the tell.
Ice Cube.
I love that on the stage they have Carr, they have Waller, and oh my gosh, I'm already just blinking on Marcus Allen. And if Waller had been traded,
oh my gosh,
him being there, they'd be like Devontae Adams, I guess. Yeah.
Marcus Allen, one of the original timeshare backs back when that didn't go down. They were kind of revolutionary in that way, that they just had two amazing backs, and teams didn't really trade or maneuver around as much. You couldn't shoot your way out of town back then like you do now. DeAndre Hopkins world. Unhappy. Yeah.
It does feel like that. Like everybody gets upset and then they just remove everything from social media, and it's like, right. And then they get their way. So it's a different society.
Yeah. But hey, you know what though? It's like it's such a tough argument because at the same time I want to side with the players and be like, you know
for
what?
sure.
Right? Like think about Najee Harris. His situation is kind of brutal, especially at the position he plays, where you look at it and say, okay, right now there's only 2 starting running backs in the league that are older than 27. It's Derrick Henry and Cordarrelle Patterson. And Cordarrelle Patterson, as far as starting running back goes, I'm throwing quotes on that, you know? So you really get crushed with that. Well, Najee got drafted late, so he's like, he's already 24 right now.
Yeah.
If he was a first round pick, so they can actually keep him with the 5th year option, he won't be a free agent for the firof time until he's 28, right? He kind of gets smoked with that whole deal. The whole franchise tag and 5th year option stuff, like kind of ridiculous, especially at a position like that. You know, it's not like tackle where Andrew Whitworth is all pro at 40 years old. Like at 27,
you go
28.
through a lot of abuse as a running back.
Right. It's just tough, man.
Well, that's why a guy like Breece Hall is so attractive, because he's only 20 years old. He's going to be 21, I believe, when the season starts. So, I mean, that you talk about the AJ packs. I wrote about that actually on Fantasy Alarm when going through my dynasty running back tiers. And that's a lot of, you know, what props up the value of running backs, because, you know, for me, at least, I want to be able to get my wide receivers, get my tight end, and then go get my running back.
Yeah. And do you want to switch me and Coop? Or I guess we can't because the overlay. I'm all laid back and Coop's face keeps getting blocked out.
Yeah. Maybe I can maneuver it. I'll be fine. I'm the one that actually put that up there because it is important to boo Goodell for the first pick. So I actually put that in front of my own face.
It is.
I wish he had the chair up there from last year when he was sitting in it to the Jags drafted ETN.
Yeah. Well, but what I was going to say about running backs is that, you know, you hear a lot about Breece Hall and they're like, well, he took on this full workload at Iowa State. Does that concern you going forward? And I'm like, no, he's 20. Now, you know, if it was an older player like a Najee Harris, who was, I mean, at least he got to sit behind a bunch of these other running backs, so he didn't get that full 3-year workload. But age and running backs, I mean, it's definitely a thing. They cycle through them way too fast.
It's the nature of the position. So the Jaguars are on the clock here. So are we all on Camp Trevon Walker here? I know Britt's Camp Evan Neal. But
I have a vested interest.
There's hoping this happens and then reality. So putting away the betting market, reality, is the Trevon Walker's team gonna result in him being the number 1 overall pick?
I don't know. They did a lot of moves in free agency. And I mean, I know that they signed Cam Robinson to an extension, but he still wasn't that great last year. And Trevor Lawrence didn't necessarily get sacked as much last season, but you did see him go under a lot of pressure. And that's where he made those really errant throws. And he had a ton of interceptions. So even if it's not protect in the literal sense, I think that you do need to give him more time in the pocket so that he doesn't, I mean, look at the receiving core too. It's not exactly an alpha wide receiving group that can go up and make those catches on inaccurate throws too. So personally, maybe I'm take locked into it because I thought Evan Neal should have been first overall when this whole draft process started. But yeah, I'm sticking to it.
I'm surprised that we haven't even gone with Hutchinson. He seems to be the consensus that I saw going in that first pick. And I mean, even Sellers just dropped it in the chat. Like ESPN has been all over that. Most of the mocks that I've seen, I think he also grinding the mocks, which I was turned on to by JJ Zacharyson. And they crunch a ton of them. And I think Hutchinson, to me, seemed to be like he was going to be the consensus. So it'll be interesting if they do deviate from that. I still wonder, like, there hasn't been a lot of chatter about trading from the top pick or moving back. And I guess maybe that's because there's not as much of a consensus there, but it still seems like, I mean, if you're a team that has that many holes like the Jags do, especially on defense, I never understand why you would make that pick unless there's somebody you are so locked in on.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with the trade, like they would have done it by now on the clock because they, you know, you have all this time to negotiate that deal. I feel like they would have already figured that out. And
you only have 10 minutes, Coop.
I mean, yeah, 10 minutes to figure it out. Exactly. It's like if they were going to do it, they should have done it. It should have been announced by now. The other thing is that if I had the first pick, to be honest, I'm doing my best to come out and let people know who it is in advance and give them time to digest and give them time to just get on the bandwagon. You know what I mean? Like the Jags, they've never really been one to do it right, in my opinion. And in this situation, now it's like you have this people that want Hutchinson, you got these people that want Walker, and now it's like you're creating this doubt when you don't even need to with this particular pick. With this pick, I'm all in favor of letting people know who you're picking. And then on the flip side, with other picks, I think it's incredibly stupid for teams to let you know who they're picking. Like, for instance, the rumors coming out with the Falcons taking Drake London. If they take Drake London now, you as a fan shouldn't be happy that that got leaked. You should be like, who is the rat here? Like, who is the mole that told everyone who we're picking? You know what I mean? Especially if somebody now trades in front of the Falcons and takes Drake London. You know, maybe that's what they wanted when they let this news out or whatever. But if they take him now, I wouldn't be happy. I'd be like, dude, what is my franchise doing? This is what stupid franchises do. You know what I mean? Like, you never know who the Patriots are going to take before they pick because they would never do that. So I don't know. All I know is that as far as Hutchinson or Walker, I think they're both going to be great. And I think whoever gets, you know, the guys picking at the top this year that want edge, they're looking pretty good. Don't you guys think so? Like there's kind of can't miss guys up there.
Yeah, they're all super versatile.
Yep, and we have our first pick is in. So then we get to wait another 10 minutes for Goodell to saunter up and say hi to Vegas and all that. So if you are the GM, if you are making this pick, who are you taking? Because for me, it's Aiden Hutchinson, as far as putting him on the other side of Josh Allen and just letting him eat.
For sure. That's the guy I would pick, but
even non-biased, I'm still going Evan Neal. You got to protect your quarterback. You have to.
No, you do.
Yeah.
Especially when you just made a big investment in last year with Trevor Lawrence. You got to protect him. Although
and they just paid the wide receivers and reset the wide receiver market. So, like, are you going to have a quarterback who can't get the ball out to them?
Thanks
like,
a lot, Kristen Kirk's agent.
Oh, my God. I think all of these, like, wide receiver disputes all started with the Christian Kirk news. And it's just been downhill since then. It's just been a cluster.
Yeah. I mean, I'm taking Hutchinson, but at the same time, if you're a Jaguars fan, it's hard to be upset either way because you kind of have to assume your team knows what they're doing. I know we can't for every team, but you just got to be on board with it, you know? So that's where I'm at. Same like with the offensive lineman. Evan Neal, great. Charles Cross, he's probably pretty good too. Like all these guys are good. I personally have no idea how you truly go in and scout offensive linemen. You know, like Evan Neal, he went to the best school. He's a guy I'd go with, you know, but I'd be happy as long as my team picks the right position. Now, if they come out and take Tyler Linderbaum here, then you'd be upset, right? Like that. Yeah. That's where you're allowed to be upset.
Yeah.
Or they take a running back or something.
And the pick is Trevon Walker for the Jags.
All
one
right.
one for one on my mock draft. That's it, guys. I'm signing out.
All right.
That was Andrew Cooper, everybody.
Thanks for having me. Undefeated. Still champion of the world.
All right. We've still got a pick at number 9 for Desmond Ridder at plus 5,000 odds. So we've still got some hope here.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you take that pick because of the odds. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're not losing anything.
2,000. That's serious. You know.
And I got the Evan Neal for plus 3. So
I have one that's even money. It's actually minus 105. I took over under 4.5 cornerbacks. We talked about this in the group chat. I already bought an Xbox with the money that I'm going to make. So.
I think you're right, though. I think that this cornerback class is just so stacked. Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
I think he was actually referencing the old game show Press Your Luck.
Yeah.
Gary might be the only one who knows that.
I didn't have TV until I was like 12, so.
It's always so weird watching this because there's my stream, which is behind. I know Kevin's because he said, and the pick was in, and 30 seconds later, the pick was in on my stream. And then Sleeper alerted me to the pick 30 seconds before Kevin did. So
what are y'all watching it on ESPN or NFL Network?
ESPN.
NFL Network.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I'm switching over to NFL. I thought it might be
a
little
NFL.
faster. All right. Well, here we go. Let's all get on the same page here.
Yeah.
I love that they like found a way to really like scold people for saying the picks before they came out. Like it used to be that the picks would leak on Twitter like way before they were even made. But like,
Schefter would too.
Really?
Yeah. But so back in the day, there was a delay, and Twitter, you would know who was picked, minutes before, like 3-4 minutes before, and it was just like the whole draft was on Twitter, and then they basically came out and said like anybody that does that is a dick. So now
does
there's
that
like,
count as Coop cursing first in the prop?
does it? Dick is.
I don't know. Does it?
Dick's not a fucking swear.
I'm just surprised that it was this soon. Not gonna lie.
We're gonna get demonetized on YouTube. Have we been on for 10 minutes already, or what are the
No,
Rick, you got let off the hook. Howard Bender is not happy right now.
We're gonna have to bleep. We're gonna have to bleep that. But all right. So yeah, anybody that picked me oddly in the because that might be the first time I swore on this show ever.
I think so too.
Like I just don't.
Dark horse.
Yeah, I really was. So anywhere that picked me, dude, great pick. Because,
a bunch of firsts, by the way, tonight. Along with this, Chris Sellers, aren't you guys impressed that I'm actually chatting as myself?
Got your.
I didn't know who he was, and I had to be like, man, that sounds like a guy. Kevin Chubb will know, a guy from college. And I was like, is that Chris Sellers? I was like, no. Oh, Sellers.
Oh,
Chubb's already in for Detroit, by the way.
Oh, dude, shout out Kevin Chubb, dude. He hung out with us all last year draft. I remember, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, good dude.
Yep.
Pick is in. Nice. Let's fly through this. Let's do some picks.
The Lions are double parked. They're I think this is the easiest pick for the Lions to make. Just took Aiden Hutchinson, so
yeah.
They could not race up to in race give the card fast enough.
It's interesting because late in season, the Jags and the Lions both had some like competitive games against teams that they shouldn't. I mean, didn't the Jags beat the Colts and really almost mess up their entire playoff?
Yeah, that was the Clown Town game where everybody, all the Jags fans had clown emojis. I remember Pat McAfee talking about that, and they were all coming after him.
And the Lions, man, the Lions had all those games. They had the game where they got cheated away from a win against the Ravens. Do you guys remember that crazy game? The
Lions had no business being in all the games that they were in, and I think that's a testament to the coaching, honestly. So get some talent around the Lions. They could be, they're not going to be winning anything in 2022, but they're building something that hasn't been built in Detroit in a very long time. I don't know if I count the Calvin Johnson, Nat Stafford, Golden Tate. I guess you can count that, but
get them
certainly not a defense.
32. No, I mean they have the line. We know that their line is legit. We know that their defense is slowly getting built. This Hutchinson pick is going to be big for them. I think, especially in that conference where you have the Packers, you have the Vikings, and then who knows about the Bears. Man, can't help but wonder, where do the Bears versus Lions end up after this year based off of what the Lions were able to do last year? I mean, they look like a team that's not going to be picking top 2 next year.
Yeah, the pendulum might be swinging. And
the Lions were 30th in team sacks last season. So you add somebody who was first in the Power 5, third in the entire FBS. I mean, he's going to have an immediate impact.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out the right volume to have the actual stream in my area. Not this stream, but the draft stream. It's very difficult.
That's why I keep getting distracted. I've got my notebook, I've got my broadcast laptop, my draft tracker laptop, and then I'm watching this here. I've had enough internet problems. I don't want to try to plug too much into one,
I'd just like to say to James Grande real quick, he's trying to find a way to be the first banned commenter on.
It's actually Grande. There's actually a term for that already that was coined by JB Barry, who he's on the our other show that we do on Wednesdays. We're going to be bringing it back, the Fantasy Besties, and he's also a longtime Fantasy Alarm member and contributor. It's called the Tompkins Tumble. when your jersey ends up on that wall. They
all made a roaring comeback though by like week 8.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got to find a term for when they come back, but the Tompkins tumble does happen when it's up there. That's why we're glad that Jefferson didn't find its way to the wall, despite temptations.
Well, I think you got rid of one, right? And then didn't everything turn around after that? So I think that one jersey might have been some bad juju.
Yeah, so it was not. Well, it was his teammate, former teammate Deontay Johnson. Jeff Milner got that on a giveaway. Shout out to Jeff Geek_Mill. Hope you're watching, brother. But yeah, so I just got the 5 up here right now, and the Texans are on the clock, and the pick is already in. So
wow,
love that,
we're
dude.
going
we're
here.
moving fast.
Yeah, I'm 2 for 2 right now. Probably best analyst in the whole world.
I feel like the biggest question is whether or not Chris Angel is going to go 3 for 3, or did you guys miss that?
Only if he's wearing the football pants.
There's a lockbox in front of the ESPN guys, and even I was like, "What the heck's that lockbox like doing in the middle of the air?" They were like, "Chris Angel put in the first 3 picks."
Shut up. That's real?
Yeah, I'm about to switch broadcasts.
Are the Houston Texans going to be pulling a mind freak here and take somebody that's not an offensive lineman?
Somebody has to stay on that ESPN broadcast. Like, we have to have somebody on there.
I'll take it for the team.
Please, dude.
I need it just for the Chris Angel.
Somebody now that I know that, we need to have eyes on both these broadcasts.
We need boots on the ground. We need boots on the ground is what
Carrie Haddow, local correspondent, keeping Chris Angel.
We go now live to the ESPN broadcast.
Will he be safe?
We love it.
Does everyone remember what was it, that College Humor or Funny or Die or whatever?
Yeah.
Chris Angel Street Magic.
Yes, I do.
If y'all
good.
don't.
The reactions to that from people, just random people, that's worth it by itself.
Well, no, this was like a spoof of it.
Okay.
It was
Yeah. Oh, it's good. I know
hilarious.
exactly what you're talking about. It's real good. Yeah, we got Mike from Long Island in here. Any longtime Fantasy Alarm folks know Mike from Long Island. He's like a Fantasy Alarm lifer. #family right there. He says, Lions fan approve of the pick. So there you go, dude. Can't beat it.
Yep, absolutely. And Goodell is stepping to the podium right now to announce this pick for the Houston Texans.
I got to follow up with Mike's comment, because they just got Aiden Hutchinson, who most people thought was the first overall pick. Remember last year what the Lions got at pick 7? They got Penei Sewell. Like, they've had some good luck these past 2 years with stuff dropping to them. So it's good.
Which the debate's still raging after the Super Bowl. Should the Bengals have actually gone Sewell instead?
So a bit of a shocker here. The Texans just took Derek Stingley.
Yes.
Whoa.
Britt, didn't you say that Stingley was a thing for, it was like plus 2,000 or something for third
He
overall?
was like a lock to go. Like, I mean, even to the Jets he could have gone to, but I mean, a lot of Vikings, mocks had him going there. That's wow.
That's high. Which, his injury concern, because he only played his true freshman year, and then his last 2 seasons he's been hurt, and he was out all of last season with the Liz Frank. So apparently the scouts liked what they saw on tape or at his pro day.
200 for third overall. That's what it was on DK. You put that in the chat earlier. Or no, Kevin put that in the chat. Sorry.
Check my mock draft, 3 for 3. I had Stingley to the Texans. What's up?
Whoa, Coop.
Mm-hmm. Next year we're giving away an autographed Coop jersey. I'll give like one of my Scott Fishbowl shirts from like 2009 and just sign that up, send it in. What do you guys think?
I want you to pull off a mask and be like, ha, I'm Chris Angel.
It's imagine, dude. And then I pull another mask off and I'm Mel Kiper Jr. Mel Cooper
and then
Jr.
you pull off one more and you're
Who
actually
the hell is
Fish.
Mel Kiper Jr.? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and Stingley was getting some steam as far as being the first corner taken, like late steam. And
yeah, I guess they decided that injuries weren't a thing.
Man,
I'm amazing at this.
wow.
Be updating this ticker here. Yeah.
Cornerback for that.
Love it, dude. That's huge for my cornerback.
It's huge for you. Totally. I'm going to make people start reaching, man.
Hashtag.
Oh my gosh, like 10.
Hashtag Xbox.
Oh my gosh.
So funny. That Xbox is either gonna be free or it's gonna cost me $1,000. Whatever.
You know, in this economy, you can probably resell it and then just buy another one because apparently they're incredibly hard to get.
Dude, I've been you know how I got that? Checking the Target. I downloaded the Target app and was like checking the local ones like
Hashtag not a sponsor.
every so often. Yeah, hashtag not a sponsor for sure.
But amazing Target app. The user experience is just so smooth.
Well, the first thing I did is I became a member of Fantasy Alarm, and that's where I made my money on Yahoo, who is also a sponsor of our stream, and that is how I got an Xbox. So make sure you sign up for Yahoo DFS, use promo code ALARM, and they'll match. I think right now they match in $25 deposits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so jump in there.
And their season-long leagues, fantasy football leagues, are also open. So
They
if you
are
want to
open.
get a head start on it, like us redraft degens like myself, like who just can't wait. I'm like, enough with Dynasty. I'm too impatient for Dynasty. Like, let's get on this redraft train.
Kev, how many slow drafts are you currently in right this moment?
0.
Oh, you shut them down before the draft?
Yep.
Nice.
The last one ended 2 days ago.
That's smart,
So-
man. Yeah, you don't want to be in that mix. Did you
No,
do any
I don't want-
Did you do any of the rookie sophomore drafts on Underdog? I didn't do any this year.
I did one, just not my format. I would rather just do I did a lot of Superflex ones. I did quite a few of like the $3 and $5 ones too, just to kind of get a feel of ADP.
Yeah, I do them all year round just to get on the ADP, and I could, that's also a sponsor of ours. Promo.
By the
code
way, yeah,
Alarm. Yeah, you could use a promo code Alarm. They'll match up to $100. So pretty good deal there. So yeah, I mean, I do those all year. I don't even do mock drafts anymore, unless I'll do a mock if like Howard wants me to do one for the site and stuff. But then that's all with people that I know are good at this. We're getting a good look at it. Otherwise, I just do paid drafts, paid Underdog best ball drafts, because you're getting the same thing as a mock. You could win some money, and you're not going to have that one dude that goes in and says, haha, I'm going to draft Tebow and messes the whole thing up. You know what I mean? Like, I used to do them on like Yahoo, and I would sit there for 15 minutes waiting for it to fill. And then a dude would go in and take like Gary Barnage, like 4 years after he wasn't even in the league. I'm just like, dude, what are we doing here?
I don't know, that one Underdog draft where it was like the full Raiders roster was
that dude, what, he had to be trolling, man. That was amazing, bro. It wasn't just Raiders either. Like, he took 8 Raiders,
former Raiders.
He took like 8 Raiders right now, and then he took Zay Jones, he took Marcus Mariota, like anybody that even donned the silver and black at any point. This dude was like, "Yep, that's it. That's the attitude I want."
I'm surprised he didn't take Darren McFadden with some hope that he would come back. You know what I mean?
Oh, McFadden was so good, man. Everyone forgets how good that guy was, dude. Until he had the high ankle sprain, and it wasn't the same after. But he was
broke his elbow trying to catch his phone from falling in the pool.
Hate when that happens.
I know. One of the worst things. Pick is in, by the way, for the Jets too. So
right,
we're at a pretty good clip here. Half an hour.
Yeah.
Let's see if Howard Bender is going to be happy, or how he's going to feel about this.
Sauce.
I'm trying to think. Who do I have? I have them taking Jermaine Johnson. That is a smoke.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
That is a smoke pick, because there's been so many rumblings. Like if they smoke, there's fire. But maybe they were doing their own smoke screen. I love that. I love the idea of like putting info out there to try and get other people to take the other guys.
I know who it is.
How?
Sleeper. Actually, and Sellers. He goes, damn, Coop's bet is looking solid. So who do you think it is?
Is it Saucy?
Saucy.
Yeah.
All right. I finally got one. A blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. Here we go.
Yeah. My Xbox name, and you guys hit me up on there, dude, if you play Halo or NHL. My Xbox name is Sauce McFloss. So it's all coming together now with the Xboxes and the bets and the cornerbacks. I mean, time is a flat circle, and we're all made of the same things. We're all made of the same things as stars.
Oh my God.
Getting philosophical already, early. What do you guys? How do you guys feel about that pick, man?
I like Sauce. I thought he was the best. I mean, as far as the best corner in the draft, I mean, Stingley's right up there, but Gardner seems like that, just that absolute 100% lockdown guy.
Yeah.
Think about it too. Like Buffalo already has like a stable of wide receivers. The earth is flat. I love it.
Grande does. Yeah.
The Dolphins just went out and got Tyreek Hill to pair with Waddle. The Jets had 7 interceptions the entirety of last season. They had a negative 13 turnover ratio. Like Sauce is the dude. Mm-hmm. I love it.
He's a beast, man. He also, he's like super committed to the game. I guess he doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, not even a victory cigar. And like, he basically says that like, I was reading it. I was like, this guy is like mature beyond his years. Him saying like, my parents did everything they could. They worked their asses off to put me in a position. Oh, I would have been the second one this way. To put me in a position to be where I am now. So I'm not going to blow that by going out and doing all these things. I'm going to do it the right way. So, I mean, pretty impressive attitude from a guy at his age. What is he, 21 years old?
I got a question for Britt.
Yeah.
Why was Gardner for you so much above Stingley?
I just really love his shutdown ability. And you know how I feel about injuries, especially in college. I don't know how long-term they can play in the NFL. So I would rather take a player with a similar skill set, or in my opinion, slightly better, who doesn't really have an injury history.
Fair enough.
So like I like Stingley. It's not that I don't, but
Frank Gore would like to have a word with you, but we'll move on.
Well, I mean, there's always a
wow.
There's
two torn ACLs, Britt.
There's always an exception, right?
Nope.
Of course, totally.
Britt, you have to eat it.
Yeah, you're done. You should just leave. Hey, Sellers, can you come?
Get Sellers.
Until it hasn't been canceled.
We're only half hour into it. It's going to be a long stream.
Why is everyone trying to cancel me like the past couple days? What have I done?
We just like giving you a hard time, Brent.
I have to.
Cheers. Oh, yeah, the Cowboys Cup is out. Look out.
There's the boobers.
I have to hydrate so I can wash away this haterade.
Got us, dude. All right.
I have to apologize for any Colts fans. Apparently, I've been getting some flack already for my bringing up the Colts getting their butts handed to them by the Jags last season. I've been getting a lot of texts about that.
Damn, the Jags own the Colts. Dude, that chain. Everyone at this point has seen the chains that he has. He's wearing 2 different sauce chains, which is like.
Did you see the barbecue sauce bottle says all purpose? It's got little orange jewels in it that say all purpose. That's
amazing, dude.
Yeah. Can we put Mike's comment up? Because I actually want to discuss it while the Giants are picking, because the Jets pick, at 10 is coming up here. There was a lot of smoke around that. What do you guys think going around the horn? Kevin, Debo getting traded?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that there's not a lot of player trades that are made in the draft. I mean, unless it involves players that are already drafted. Obviously, guy like Eli, got traded for Phillip Rivers and picks and all that. It's just very rare to see that. I just don't know if that's something that the 49ers at least are entertaining right now. As we get into training camp, we'll see. As we get into the summer, we'll see. But I just don't think right now they'll be able to get anything, commensurate of a guy like Debo.
Let's be real, dude. Eli only got traded because his dad was crying about not wanting to go to the Chargers, dude.
Who doesn't want to go to San Diego?
I don't know. Eli's such a weenie.
At that point, I mean, they kind of sucked. They weren't great.
I mean, the thing is, they had Drew Brees already. Like, talk about like having 3 different Hall of Fame caliber quarterbacks at their fingertips, that franchise, and they still couldn't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I was too busy at that point in time. I didn't even watch football. Like it's a blip in my brain.
I'll tell you right now that they should have won.
Yeah.
The Chargers should have won the Super Bowl one year. I forget what year it was, but they were playing the Patriots, who the Patriots ended up winning the Super Bowl that year, right? The Chargers picked the ball off. Marlon McCree intercepted the ball. All he had to do was fall on the ground, and they would have won the game. Instead, he tried to run it back, and Troy Brown stripped him, and the ball came out, and the Patriots recovered, and the Patriots went down to score. all Marlon McCree. Marlon McCree won the game, and then he turned around and immediately lost the game. Like, would have been that is the most Chargers thing of all time.
Is
The
that
law of
the
equal
Phillip Rivers
return.
middle finger game?
I think it might have been.
That was 2006.
Yeah, and they fired Marty Schottenheimer
Yeah,
after
because
he won like 14 games.
14-2.
Yeah. Hey Gary, can we get an update? Is this true?
We've been waiting for it to come to see if it came after this pick. Sellers must have gotten it because maybe he's Chris Angel.
Somebody here is Chris Angel. I there's no doubt in my mind. And I'm
He
waiting,
is
I'm
an
just waiting for
angel.
the reveal.
I will agree.
I honestly got so wrapped into the Phillip Rivers middle finger game, and now just thinking about how mad Phillip Rivers has to be to do such a disgusting gesture, because dadgummit, I can't believe that's probably the first time in his entire life he's ever done something like that.
That is so true.
It's so fun watching highlights of him and just hearing all the ways he doesn't swear.
It was really funny watching the Colts midseason Hard Knocks too, because I didn't realize that Carson Wentz, when he made a bad throw, dadgummit. I'm like, it was fun to watch just because of that. But
I love Rivers' attitude, man. Like, I remember after one game, they asked him, they were like, how do you feel about, Thursday night football playing on such a short schedule? Like, kind of like trying to get him to criticize Thursday night football. And he was like, is there anything better than hanging out with 53 your best good buddies playing a football game on a nice warm Thursday night? I was like, dude, is this a beer? Is this a Bud Light commercial? Like, it was just amazing. He's out there with a bolo tie and rattleskin snake boots. I'm like, this guy is amazing.
it's the 1950s.
Yeah. 53 he goes 53 your best good buddies.
Oh my God.
Giants are picking right now. Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yes. All right. So I'm 2 of 3 or 2 of 5 now. I'm catching up to you, Coop.
What am I? Did I have Thibodeau? I did. Wow, I'm a genius. 4 of 5 for me.
Hey,
4 of 5.
Can you post the link to yours? I want to be able to follow. I have Britt sub. So can you post the
hold
link?
on. I've already retweeted it like 7 times because I'm narcissistic.
Oh, I got it. I'll check my Twitter.
Here, it's in the chat.
Wait, you have Twitter?
That is a suit, by the way.
Yeah.
I just want to say.
It's like
Who's this making the pick?
Dolce and Gabbana.
He was from Make-A-Wish.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's
amped up. Yeah, my stream's a little behind. I'm waiting for Britt to leak the picks. She seems to be ahead of us.
Oh, did you not hear?
It was mostly wishful thinking, but it came out simultaneously. So maybe I just manifested it.
Well, if anyone has any way to get the picks early, say them on the stream, dude. You know what? Like, screw it.
I think Sleeper's been pretty good about putting it out early.
Yeah, is this
So-
Garrett Wilson's so low.
Is this mine on the tracker?
You have Garrett Wilson
Yes.
going at 16, man. That's low. That's one of the lowest I've seen.
I have him going pretty low too, I think.
So Carolina
Let's see.
on the clock now. This could be a quarterback spot.
I'm icky.
Yeah, but
It's gotta be icky.
exactly. Those
Huh. You do.
exactly with all those offensive linemen are apparently dropping. I mean,
Yeah, this is crazy.
nobody really knows anything. You can't predict football at this point because everybody had all these tackles in the mocks. The first 5 picks for defensive players.
Yeah. I'm just happy to be here. Just thanks for letting me try.
I might go over to Reddit and just remind everyone how stupid they are for telling me that they're not going to draft a defensive end in Wink Martindale's system or an outside linebacker because Wink Martindale blitzes with linebackers and all these guys. Like, dude, Wink Martindale had Matt Judon. You know what I mean? Like, the guy doesn't have to rush the passer every play. You want the best. That scheme becomes easier when you have a defensive end that can, an outside linebacker that can rush the quarterback or drop into coverage himself. If you have a one-dimensional pass rusher in that spot, it hurts you because you can't blitz guys and then bring guys back. So having really good guys at that position, even if they don't get 20 sacks, is good for that system. So everyone on the Giants subreddit can eat it.
I think the Giants made a bad decision by getting rid of Patrick Graham, man. I think the Raiders came up big on that. They got some pieces. We'll see what they do. I think Patrick Graham is a great defensive coordinator.
I agree. I fully agree.
It's just silly to me. I mean, I get that you fire your head coach and you let him bring in your guys and whatnot, especially when it's Dayball's there, right? Right, Dayball?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I mean, so like you got to let that guy do what he's going to do. But man, Patrick Graham was legit. That team had no business being in some of the games that they were in. They're very Jags and Lions-esque when it comes to that.
I just want to say I really hate this pick as a Cowboys fan because they drafted Azeez Ojulari last year. So now they've got like bookend young edge rushers. And as much as I want Dallas to take Burks, I mean, we really might need to work on the line with those two twice a year.
What does O'Shane Zimenez not do anything for you?
Man, I hate this already. I love it, but I hate it.
Yeah,
I love
dude. Is what's up? By the way,
draft is awesome, bro. This is great. Who do you guys have the Panthers taking here?
Icky.
I have him taking Icky too, dude. He's from North Carolina. That's about as deep as my research went. So
I don't have a PD Pablo video to throw up. I'm sorry.
So actually, I talked about him yesterday. He had 18 big time run blocks, which led the Power 5, 7 more than number 2. I mean, this dude is a smasher when it comes to the run game. And think about the Panthers. Like, you have Christian McCaffrey coming off of 2 really bad injury seasons, and his usage is already a concern. You're laughing because I'm saying injury again, but it's true. But I think that would be the best way to protect McCaffrey and protect whoever they decide to get at quarterback or keep at quarterback.
I promise you I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at Kevin Perry's comment.
That's fine. I'll keep my receipts.
There you go.
I'm also reading your blurbs on Fighting Chance Fantasy, and I really just want to like take stuff right before you're going to say it just to mess with you.
Well, you know I'm not looking at it. It's just in my brain.
Of course it is.
Britt's got a list in front of her, and it says people to kill on it, and she just wrote Kevin Perry down on there right on the top.
Hey,
y'all don't know what's on this notebook.
That's the notebook, dude. People to kill. I've been on there. I've been on there for weeks.
Good friend Kevin Perry, by the way, unabashed Vikings fan.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Kevin's a good dude. Know he's watching at home. So Kevin, my good friend. Every couple picks, Gary. We're gonna answer this question.
Hey, right, dude. I think Debo's sitting put for now. Man.
If by Debo, do you mean Traylon Burks?
No one's gonna pay, or he'll go like second. He'll go day 2 for like a second now, a second in the future. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna get it first. I would love to see the Chiefs trade for him, but like, you don't get rid of a star wide receiver just to trade for a big money wide receiver. You know what I mean? Like everything with the Packers, like it didn't make sense. A lot of the trades that were being discussed for them to go and do, because like you don't get assets to give up this guy just to go and spend a chunk of that over here. You go and you reload in the draft. It's the whole point. That the entire idea that the Jets would give up the 10, which came from, I'll say like my Chubb, who if he's still in here, both of us were like, hey, this guy has a check mark, but I don't know if we trust him. You can get 4 years of cheap compared to what you would have to pay. So
the 49ers trading Debo only to draft another wide receiver would be as crazy as like the Vikings trading Stephon Diggs and then drafting Justin Jefferson.
No, we're saying the same. I'm saying you want to be the Niners getting the picks because it frees up, especially when you're trying to figure out salary cap issues with your other like baller players, because the Niners have tons of them.
So many.
Yeah,
maybe they kind of do though. They do. They got Bosa. They got Kittle. Like
Final Four, baby.
Elijah Mitchell. They got a bunch of studs, dude. They got the best offensive tackle in the entire league, in my opinion. Right?
And they got him for a 5th round pick. Maybe
just think.
Trent Williams was a 5th round pick.
That's what they traded for him.
Oh, dude, Kittle was also a 5th round pick, dude. Maybe you guys should trade all your picks for 5ths.
Just think, all Aiden Hutchinson had to do to be the number 1 overall pick was have the last name Bosa. That's all he had to do.
Yep, no big deal.
So much easier. Or Watt.
Right.
What if he was?
Well, I don't get why
Watt?
like half this draft class is just not named Bosa.
You guys nailed it.
It's all about branding, people.
Nailed,
It's all
exactly.
about branding.
Kayvon Thibodeau is too hard to say. If his name was like AJ Watt, then he would have gone first. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. AJ Watt,
The
PJ
lost
Watt,
Watt brother.
PJ
That
Watt.
sounds like a sauce. Oh, this guy's named Sauce. Let's take him.
That's how they accidentally drafted Sauce Gardner.
Icky,
gosh.
let's do.
Yes, let's go, Icky.
Bro, I'm a genius, dude. Have I gotten 5 of the first 6 picks right, dude?
You got
I'm
6
shooting
for
50
6.
now.
You called yourself a genius.
Did Icky
You
go?
are.
Did Icky go?
He did. Yep.
Yep.
Gotta get those sleeper alerts, bro.
I'm getting it from you guys. You know, I'm just living in the moment. You know, living in this stream. I don't need to
Flying by the seat.
I don't need to see what's going on with the picks because I already have tomorrow's newspaper, guys. It's on my Twitter at Coupe Fiasco. 5 of 6 picks, right? The Sauce Gardner pick, that was a bad pick. They should have picked Jermaine Johnson, who I had. But the rest of the picks have been great.
The gall of this guy to go out and buy an Xbox and just
Right.
I was
feel
getting
like-
that Xbox no matter what, but now it's free.
I feel like Britt gave a really substantive reason for why Icky was going to go to Carolina, and it all got overshadowed by Kevin Perry. I totally agree. Britt, I think it makes sense. I mean, it's why I understood the Evan Neal kind of thing to Jags. You got to protect your players, and you've had injuries with McCaffrey. It makes sense, and if they go and get a quarterback here, then go from there. If they go with Sam Darnold, did you guys see the blurb that their head coach was like, "Yeah, if Sam Darnold is our starting quarterback." I probably shouldn't say that out loud.
Oh yeah, he ate his words completely.
It was amazing. But I'm excited for this. I mean, that team just has so many pieces. I mean, we all want to see them get a quarterback because we want to see DJ Moore unlocked. But no matter what, I mean, they're building something. Their defense is awesome. They're fun to watch.
And they're still quarterbacks to trade for. You don't have to reach for a quarterback at number 6 overall, especially in this class, I think.
I mean, would you rather have a quarterback from this class or Jimmy Garoppolo?
I think Garoppolo is probably better, at least right now, than any of these quarterbacks because these quarterbacks are going to have to be developed.
Right.
So if you're looking for win now, then yeah.
Yeah. If you're competing right now, then wow, dude, the suit that Icky has is amazing. I'm way behind, but still.
Yeah.
What's the Panthers' next pick? Oh, they don't have a second because they traded for Darnold.
Yeah.
Dude, the Panthers don't pick again to 144 or something crazy. This is their pick. This is the pick that they make in this draft. And then they don't pick again for a long time, if I remember correctly.
I always like seeing who teams go when it's something like that where you had your one guy. I remember, I think it was when David Montgomery was taken by the Bears. They traded assets to get him, and you knew they didn't pick in the first, I think, 2 rounds. They moved up to get him in the 3rd, and it was
that was because of the Khalil Mack trade, I believe, right?
Yeah, and it's it says a lot what you are willing to invest when you don't have those picks because it's so underrated how much the draft resets an entire franchise and what allows for the parity throughout the league. Unless you're the Browns.
I see what Britt and in these highlights, I see what you're talking about with the I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what's a big time block? I'm like, dude, this guy is eating people alive. He is throwing people on the ground and then frog splashing them into the dirt.
And he's so fast. He can get his mom was a track star. So he got her speed. His dad was a college football player. So he got his build. So he's got that perfect combination of speed and power. He can get to the second line of defense, before anybody even realizes he's gone. So I love him.
That's why I had him at
and he played Pongo in 101 Dalmatians. So who can't love that?
Can you expand on that, please?
In his 5th grade play, he played Pongo. And they talked about it at the combine, how he's a theater kid. Yeah, it was really adorable.
Light on
It's like when Dwight Schrute was Muty the mailman in his production of Fiddler on the Roof or something. Had to make up a part.
Evan Neal is more of a Patches. If I was gonna have to pick a Dalmatian for him,
I don't know.
You don't think he's a Patches, or what would you say he's more of?
Well, I'm thinking more like Oliver and Company, like Junkyard Dog. But I don't think they really have names.
If we're talking about theater stuff, I'll just go get Aaron. I'll be right back.
That's the only Dalmatian name I know. I didn't even know the one that you knew.
You don't know Perdita?
How many Dalmatian names do you know?
101. There are 101 of them. I know them all.
Okay, so mine, I have predicted here for them. I have the Giants taking Charles Cross, which would really, I only made that pick for them because it would really piss off the Giants subreddit. They don't like him. I don't know. They must all be offensive line scouts. But so this is a spite pick that I put into my mock draft. Yeah, what do you think?
Well, they did not take Charles Cross.
Who they take?
Evan Neal.
Yeah, that's who they should have taken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Evan Neal, not a Patches. He's what's his name? Perdito.
Well, Perdita's the mom.
I don't know anything.
I don't know. He's like that lean, mean junkyard dog. Like the dog from The Sandlot.
Ooh, beast.
Right?
Oh,
beast.
yeah. Now you're talking my language.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
The Colossus of Clout.
The Colossus of Clout.
I love this pick for them. I mean, they clearly are missing a bunch of their offensive line was just holding them back so much, requiring Daniel Jones to rely on his legs, but because he would try and rely on his arm, and then he realized he only has legs. So I like it. I mean, I think this is good for Saquon, who has just been tumbling down ADP boards. And honestly, I mean, you could see definitely a resurgence. I mean, you have to believe in Brian Daboll. And I think that we're getting a bunch of Giants hatred, despite the fact that they added a real coach for probably the first time. And how many years has it been? I don't know. It's been, Jason Garrett was hired 3 years ago. Like, they haven't had anybody that's actually leading that team. They could have a quick turnaround, ideally. Not ideally, sorry. They could optimistically, and I like this. You start with getting such a badass offensive tackle.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I don't think
true, and yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We made it pretty far without mixing in.
Hey, wait,
that should have been one of the props.
Yeah, I mean, everyone would have taken the under, dude. We were deep. We were deep.
58 minutes in, exactly.
Yes.
Wow. Impressive, dude. I'm real disappointed that I didn't put Evan Neal there. I really should have. I have Evan Neal going to the Seahawks, I think.
Oh wow. Well, good thing that's Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter. Wow. I thought about
for real. Did London go to the Falcons?
He's in your house.
No,
the call came from inside the house.
No, he says that's his pick.
Oh.
Look at the chat.
Well, I was just looking what was on the screen.
I was just about to say, is this where we see our first wide receiver go? I mean, everybody thinks it should be, right?
I don't know.
I don't want them to take that.
Everyone thinks it should. If they're not, Coop, what are we going to be seeing this season for all of those that haven't heard it before?
A ghost ship. And that's what the thing is, when you have a ghost ship where you're burning cap and trying to, do a bridge year and move your team to the future, you fill that with a skeleton crew. You don't go out and draft a wide receiver before you get your quarterback of the future, unless they're sold on Marcus Mariota being the quarterback. Then of course you try and win now, right? Wide receiver is one of the most expensive positions. These guys are going for $20 million a year, right? $30 million in some cases. So,
for a base model.
Right. So it's like, if you draft the wide receiver now and then Mariota doesn't work out, and then next year you have to go and get your quarterback, it's like now the quarterback, and when the quarterback is actually good and you're competing to win, it doesn't overlap with your wide receiver. Think of how bad Josh Allen was his rookie year. They did it right. You have Josh Allen throwing to like Robert Foster while he's developing. Who cares? You're not going to win, right? Then you go out and get John Brown and Cole Beasley, and you see where you're at. And then when you're ready to win, you go out and get Stephon Diggs, right? That's the formula. Like the Dolphins did the exact right thing in that fashion. Tanking in 2019, they had no one, Preston Williams and whoever, and Devontae Parker, and didn't bring anyone in until 2021. 2 years later, they go out and get Will Fuller, Jalen Waddle, and then a year after that, they get Tyreek Hill. Like if you were the Dolphins and you drafted a wide receiver then, you'd have to pay him now. That's why I don't think that they should take a wide receiver. But at the same time, teams aren't rational in the way they do things, so they might.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I think I'm with you. I think that you need to invest on like a long-term piece, like an offensive lineman or defensive piece. But I mean, teams love their shiny new toys. Look what Atlanta did last season with Kyle Pitts.
Well, they had Matt Ryan when they took Kyle Pitts. Like that's
right.
I think that was that?
You guys don't know what just happened.
What happened?
You guys need to put your sleeper alerts on.
I do, but I'm not watching it. No, are you serious?
Oh,
I think I just
they
saw
did
it.
it.
Maybe.
Sellers.
The Mad Lads did it.
Oh, you're a madman.
Good job, husband.
Everyone's like, whoa, what? They're married?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm independent and don't need no man's name. I kept my own.
Oh, man.
He's going to rub that
It
in my
broke the
face
seal, huh?
for like the entirety.
This...
I don't know. I don't think Mariota can do it. I think do you really want to develop a rookie with that offense? Like you've got Mariota and then you've got Felipe Franks and Josh Rosen.
I think that Coop put it really well either last episode or maybe 2 ago. And he said, you just got to look at teams. It doesn't matter if they're great teams. If they're great wide receivers, they are going to separate. They're going to get a high percentage of targets. They're going to get the yards. It doesn't mean that they're going to be this amazing rookie force, but you can see the build that's getting there regardless of the quality. Because if they're a bad team, they're going to get to that next level when they now get a rookie quarterback and they get to start the ball rolling. I would rather have an offense, this is probably pretty bold to say, of London and Pitts than I would with Mariota. I kind of feel like that I would with Lawrence and his smattering of wide receiver threes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Christian Kirk.
Maybe, but this kind of worries me with London coming back from that broken ankle, and he does force contact so much, like the risk of injury, the physical way that he plays. He's going to be great, but again, I'm worried. I'm like a mom. I'm like, are you going to get hurt out there?
But where could he have gone that you would feel less concerned about his ankle? He's on a crap team. Just let him do his thing. It's not a big deal if he's not out there, which he will be. I mean, that's a whiles away. I
thought he would do really well on the Saints, but
regards to the ankle, like what is different about the Falcons from the Saints other than you just wanted him on the Saints because of YOLO?
Well, it's not
James.
that. I think the Saints are a lot more balanced offense, so they won't be playing from behind all the time and throwing like a million times a game. So he won't be put in that position to make those contested catches and put his body on the line that much as he will like in Atlanta. I don't know. I'm just here. I'm happy to be here. I don't know anything. This is all speculation. So we'll see.
I think this needs to be said just based on the pick.
You sound like you're from London.
I love it.
Well said. Yeah, I mean, I think that if they have a high enough grade on them, then that's what you do. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you just got to trust your team and your scouting group to take the best available players because for anybody, even quarterbacks, it's a 50% hit rate. You know what I mean? Even for first round picks. So you just got to try and pick guys that are going to be real full-time professional football players because plenty of these guys, honestly, as sad as it is, will not be,
Yep.
So are you already calling Drake London a professional receiver?
I mean, maybe. I think
by job title, maybe.
Now that he's been drafted, he is. But I don't know.
My job title.
I'm kicking myself because Jon Impemba, we have a friend named Rob Treya who has an inside source on this stuff who was very adamant that they were taking Drake London, and I didn't feel like changing my mock draft, which I probably because I got off for Fantasy Alarm right where I talked to Howard. Yeah, change it now. Where I talked to Elon Musk needs to give us that edit button first. But I talked to Howard on Sirius XM right before this, and he said the same thing that John said, and I was like, I should change it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have something to eat instead, and that's what I did before this stream, which is I only had 30 minutes.
So. Oh my god, man, that turkey sandwich was just so good.
I'm gonna stand by that decision to eat something and not change my mock.
All right, so I'm just gonna say this. I just won on a plus 250 for London to be the first receiver off the board.
Nice.
So I'm on the board.
You bet $10,000 and you got that. That's awesome. Way to go.
Maybe now we need Seattle to take Ritter.
That would be awesome. Hey, pop up seller's question here because I agree with this. Because there's been a lot of conversation about what happens with that offense and specifically what do you do with Mariota. Like maybe they take a quarterback later, but who knows? We've seen what he can do. We've seen him step in. He's never been like this amazing guy, but he's always been somebody that we know he can run with his legs. We know that he can do some stuff. They do have Pitts. They do have London now. Zakaris is probably like their third right now, but they have Patterson, who even if he was like a fantasy darling, waiver wire darling, whatever this year, they can do some stuff. His ability to move is going to be far different than what Matt Ryan's ability to move was.
Good point.
So
with Bob here,
I think his ADP will move up. I don't know how high. What I could see him being like wide receiver 24 to 28, depending on how London's camp goes. That's not great, but whatever. Serviceable QB2 when you want to go late.
Yeah, if you're doing super flex, if you're doing super flex underdog drafts using promo code ALARM, where they'll match up to $100 if you first deposit. If you're doing that, then you now have to take Mariota, where he was in that group of guys. Get this Bob thing out of my face. This group of sorry, Bob, but you made a good point, Bob. That's why we had you up there, but you were in my face. So when you get to that range where you're like, okay, do I take a third quarterback at all, or do I not? Now Mariota is one of those guys that's probably going to go ahead of that group of real weird guys that you can't trust at all. Like you take Mariota over Jared Goff now, probably, right?
Yeah.
Kev, you're muted.
I sure am. I think they're neck and neck.
Yeah. So who else? Let's go through a few of them right now. Like who would you take Mariota over? Like I would take him over
Trubisky.
Yeah.
Honestly, it might be it. Darnold.
I'm taking Davis Mills over that group.
Would you take Mariota over Wentz?
Yeah, I would take Wentz ahead of Mariota. Yeah, I think I would.
No, I think I still would rather have Wentz. Not saying that because I live in North Dakota and there's a window right there at all. Not factoring that in.
This is legit?
Yeah, it is.
They took old Chucky.
Would you guys rather have Mariota or Cardinals 2022 starting quarterback Colt McCoy?
Colt McCoy did pretty decent when he filled in, so I don't know.
It was really good, but I just wanted to throw it out there. No, yeah, I agree. It Fields and Lance for sure.
No and no.
Yeah, question. Just the legs alone. Mariota's got that old surfer leg.
Old surfer leg.
What?
So
I apologize. I'm sure we're doing trivia questions later, but like, I know that we've seen first rounds where they didn't have a quarterback, but in recent memory, what's the latest we've seen a quarterback go? Or am I not supposed to ask this question yet?
I have no idea. All I know is these quarterbacks are going to be tumbling.
Yeah.
or somebody's gonna trade up for, you know, but they're gonna see the slide and hey, maybe we want a guy, who knows, some dumb franchise.
I mean, Jets, Commanders, it's still getting weird to see that. Vikings, Texans, Ravens, Eagles, Saints at 16. If I'm the Saints, I'm sticking with Jameis personally. 20 is Steelers. I don't know if I see him going before then.
You know what sucks about that pick just now is that I had Charles Cross to the Giants and I had Evan Neal to the Seahawks. So if you just flip them, then I now have friggin' 6. Or no, sorry, I would have 7 of 9 right, but instead I have like 5.
My kiddo is going to be heading to bed, so I'm going to mute for a bit. So I'm going to take that chance just to say goodnight to him. I apologize. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it.
Thanks.
All right, Gary's gone. Now we can talk trash about him.
So Sellers had a good question. So is this the first draft since 2013 that a quarterback hasn't been taken in the top 10? I don't know, but it sounds right.
Was 2013? I mean,
that
was
the
the
year
2013 class was dismal.
Bad.
It was awful. Like, I don't think that there's only like 2 players out of that draft who are still even in the league. Like,
I'm looking at it now. You have Eric Fisher, still in the league. Lane Johnson was a good pick. Ezekiel Ansah. Oh my God, some of these picks are so bad. Luke Jokel, Barcavius Mingo, Tavon Austin.
There.
Special teams aficionado.
After his rookie year, he said the playbook looked like Spanish to him, and I think he got. Kev, what did he get on the Wonderlic? Do you remember?
It was a negative.
I swear he did. I swear he got a 7 on the Wonderlic. And if you go on the Wonderlic,
if you write your name, you get at least 10.
Yeah, if you go on the Wikipedia page, it says like all the different professions by Wonderlic. It's like engineers get like a 39 or whatever. It says that like if you can read, you should be able to get an 11.
That's
like,
just
anything under 11 means that you're likely illiterate or at least some sort of dyslexic.
That's just terrible.
Yeah, this is a rough
Ooh,
draft.
we got Bender in the chat. Yeah.
There he is.
Well, you got 4 minutes and 13 seconds to do it.
I mean,
Well,
that's usually when it happens. These teams are on the horn, like trying to find the best deal. It's the first pick overall. It goes quick, but you know, usually it winds down, then they go. So.
Well, and I'm pretty sure they had their eye on London, so now they're scrambling. They're like, "What are we going to reach for?"
Oh, they just traded.
There we go.
Oh, okay. No, they didn't just trade. I'm sorry, that was from.
Oh my God, Gary!
God damn it, Gary!
Wait. Oh, I just said that wrong. I saw 2022 10th overall. I just.
Britt, look what Howard wanted there. Your boy. There it is.
You shall not. You shall not. No, I'm putting all my energy. No.
Where players go to die. Oh, the Jets.
The punter coming, dude. Can you imagine? There's a nasty punter in this draft, though.
Arezia.
His name was Wisnowski. He was drafted a few years ago in the 5th, I think.
Oh. Let's see.
Would you rather they go Jameson or go with Garrett?
I would rather Jameson, I think.
I have Jameson as my so I was talking to Howard about it on the show tonight that I have Jameson as my top wide receiver if he goes in this round. If he doesn't, that means that his medicals didn't work or the scouts, see something that we don't. But if he goes in the first round, he was the best wide receiver, was he not? He had the most yards of all these prospects. He had 15 friggin' touchdowns. I mean, like, why wouldn't he be the best dynasty prospect if the Jets take him right here or if somebody takes him high,
Yep.
I know who they took.
Tell us, Gary. Spoil it. Get us out.
They went with Garrett. They went with
Wilson.
Garrett.
Yeah.
That's
All
a
right.
good pick.
See, I personally like Olave better because if you look at, he beat out Wilson 2 out of the 3 years that he was at Ohio State. It was just Wilson had a better season last season. I think Olave is a better. overall.
Yeah, and then
player.
Smith and Jigba just exploded.
Yeah, that dude is a monster.
That dude's like a baller.
Oh, Howard doesn't like it. Bender doesn't like the pick. Bender, get on the stream, dude.
Yeah, I want to know why you don't like him, and I really want to know the impact that this is going to have on Elijah. So we were super high on Elijah. I mean, he had his amazing 8-game stretch towards the end of the season, but now they're getting this number 2 wide receiver, some people's top wide receiver in this draft. What happens this year and what happens beyond? Does this hurt Elijah more long term?
It has to be, it's all about Zach Wilson. It has to be one of those rising tide lifts all boats situation. Like,
and I think at the end of the day, the guy that gets hurt here is Corey Davis because they're going to be a team. Like the strange thing about this team now with this pick is that they just went out and got 2 tight ends, right? They went out and got CJ Uzoma and Tyler Conklin, who they paid a decent amount, which means there are going to be 2 tight end sets, right? That means anytime you have 2 tight end sets, you only have 2 wide receivers on the field. So now if Corey Davis is the split end and Elijah Moore is the slot and Garrett Wilson's the flanker, somebody's coming out of the game for those sets. And in fantasy football, that really does cap your upside. So we'll have to see who are the full-time wide receivers. I think the first couple weeks of the season are going to tell us a lot. I want to know who's playing 90% of the snaps or more. The best thing for fantasy is when it comes out in the first week and a dude plays 95% of the snaps and he doesn't have a good week, like he doesn't get the targets or whatever, you go and trade for that guy because he's the guy that's going to, in the long run, get more work, get more targets.
Corey Davis will be cut. He's 11.1 million after this year, but he's only a 600, just under 700,000 dead cap hit. He'll be gone after this year. So you have Corey Davis, another high pick to at least groom this guy a little bit. Plus you have Elijah. I mean, that's a good core to allow Zach Wilson to kind of coalesce into the quarterback you want him to be. You get rid of one, and then you kind of have your dynamic duo, see what happens with Michael Carter over he's awesome pass catching back. And their line, I think their line looks pretty damn awesome. So they've spent a lot of capital in it. They've done it right, in my opinion. I feel like they did it really Bills kind of mentality. You get your rocks on either side, and then you just kind of get a bunch of guys and see who can fill in from there.
Got a couple of Fantasy Alarm guys going at it in the chat. Get after it.
All right, so Washington's trading back. Is that the word? I don't know with who or what the
seeing
details
other
are,
stuff,
but...
and you're like, "Oh, honey, you're telling me?"
No, I saw it on Sleeper
like
before he typed
the
it.
New Orleans Saints are on the clock right now.
Okay, so they did. Ooh, so who are they gonna go with? This is spicy.
Which quarterback? Or
Man, I really don't like
Jameson. What?
I really don't like all these NFC East teams getting double picks. Like if they traded for the 2 first that the Saints had, and the Commanders, the Eagles, and the Giants all have 2 first-round picks.
Does anybody know what the pick details are?
Not yet. I just saw they're on the clock, so I'm sure we'll get that soon.
Twitter says that they're going to turn around and trade this pick to the Patriots for N'Keal Harry.
Twitter's right about one thing. Let it be that.
I choose to believe.
That is rich.
So the Saints on the clock, man.
Maybe the Saints traded the 2 future first to get Davenport again.
Maybe they traded for Ricky Williams.
Ooh, too soon.
It's still too soon for that, man. It's sad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they need to replace their tackle, right? But I think basically most of the top level tackles are gone. So do you think they go a quarterback or a receiver here?
I think they're going to go with a receiver and try to get Jameis.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting.
I will say this. How do you guys feel about this? It looks like being at the NFL draft, physically being there, it looks terrible.
It does not look great.
Are they
just defend all Vegas fans right now?
Are they standing for 4 hours? Is that what's going on there?
Oh yeah.
That looks.
But they don't care. They're so drunk they can't feel feelings.
It doesn't look like anybody. How do you even get a beer? You're just like crammed in there. It doesn't even look like there's seating. It's like standing room.
Well, I think it's time. We've got our first guest into the lightning round stream. It's Mr. Dan Servodidio. Dan, how are you, my friend?
What's up, guys? And Britt, ladies too.
Welcome. I'm one of the guys. You can totally call me a guy.
I'm
It's
trying
fine.
to process. Saints are now on the clock, right?
Yeah.
Right? Total
Yep.
curveball. We told you to come on for a certain pick, and now you just got to
I know,
mix up
right?
your notes, man.
And of course, I'm
change the notes around.
responsible for the draft tracker at this pick, so this is fun, you know.
Oh,
Right.
dude, Servo. That's Who scheduled this? I didn't even know I was up for the first pick, so I'm just sitting here like, why isn't the tracker updating?
Oh man. So
But thanks
Servo,
for
who's
letting
your
me
team?
on. My team is the Eagles, Philadelphia.
Okay, I
Eagles.
knew you were a fellow NFC East fan, but I wasn't sure which
Yeah,
variety.
I thought maybe they might make a move by now to move up, but I guess not. So we'll see what they do.
What do you want them to do?
Yeah.
What do you like? You got 2 picks, right? So, well, like,
Yeah.
what 2 positions? What combo would you like? If it's just positions,
I feel like they're going to go defensive line. I'm not sure it's really what I want, but for like the future, it's just what the Eagles always do. They always build depth, even if they don't need it now. So I'm expecting them to go D line at least with one of the picks, whether if they trade back. I do want a receiver though. I really want a receiver. Ideally like Jameson Williams. That's like my favorite of the group. I thought maybe he might be drafted by now. Maybe this is going to be picked now, but like if it's him or someone else, like I just want a receiver for that offense. So we'll see if that happens.
The fact that the Saints just traded 16, a 3 and a 4 to move up 5 spots. A 3 and a 4 is pretty significant capital.
And they're going Chris Olave, I'm seeing.
Okay. Wow, over Williams. That's really tilting a bunch of people.
Does that have
I feel like
anything
they
to
didn't
do
need
with
to
his
cut that
late
far
season
away.
injury, though? I mean, does that give a little bit of pause?
Well,
I
you've
think
heard that he's ahead in his rehab, so you wouldn't really think so, but
I
don't
love
know.
the idea of Thomas and Olave together. I feel like that's going to be pretty damn hard. I mean, those are tacticians. Like it's going to be really hard to defend those two. Plus, you have Kamara out of the backfield. That's going to be fun.
rolls off the
and
tongue too.
Olave has the speed to like get downfield fast enough for Jameis to play his huck it chuck it branded ball.
Yeah. I think that's my only concern is Jameis.
Yeah.
I know if Jameis
Julio.
can just get him the ball, just launch it.
Yeah, I don't mind the pick. I mean, Olave is a dude that I personally didn't have super high, but we've seen teams value field stretchers. And the thing about guys like with his speed and his style of play is that it doesn't always translate to the box score, but it's super valuable to have a guy that the safeties have to respect, because especially when you have a guy like Michael Thomas that's such a great route runner underneath and stuff. Like if you can send somebody deep, then everything's gonna be open underneath, So teams in real life football, it's more valuable than it is in fantasy football. I'll say that.
What are you guys expecting from Thomas this year, just coming off the injury?
Man, I don't know. We haven't seen
It's
him
a
in
wild
2
card.
years. It's old.
The physical or the mental one?
I will say this: we've never seen him be bad. We've only seen him be hurt. He was very good anytime he played. So it's the same with Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey was good. Even when he came back from injury briefly, he was very good. So I'm always willing to give those guys a chance if they are healthy when I'm drafting. So if it's August and they're healthy, I'll draft them. If they're hurt in August, I don't draft them. Last year I didn't draft Michael Thomas anywhere because he was hurt.
Hey, you guys, the Lions have traded up to pick 12.
Oh,
what?
With
Yeah.
the Vikings.
I feel like
Yeah.
in completely unrelated news, Drew Brees just unretired now that they've got a wide receiver too.
Right?
He's back,
Oh,
baby.
man.
Right? What? You guys
This
see
is wild.
What is NBC paying you? We'll double it.
I just
What
got
if the
thrown
Lions
off
trade up
because
to go 20 picks.
Austin Eckler's on announcing the pick or something, and I was like, "What? The Chargers? What?"
Just
Yeah, what's he doing? He's up there with Gonzalez?
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, so the Lions
What 20?
are they going to
picks?
go Malik Wallace here? Or
They This is wild.
Maybe
Like
they're
they
doing
saw a
it.
chance and jumped on it,
The
man.
mad lads.
This is so psycho, and I love it.
Maybe they're doing it. Maybe they're taking. I hope they take another cornerback just for my cornerback bet.
If anybody can refresh Twitter faster than me, please do so.
But I don't know if you guys have caught on, by the way. Albert Breer is like, he's jumping all these picks.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
They told everyone not to do that, but I'll follow him and definitely.
Well, I guess he probably doesn't care because he's with Sports Illustrated. He's not on TV or anything.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Why is Jimmy?
I guess, Sleeper hasn't been sending them in, so.
Vikings just traded pick 12 and 46 for 32, 34, and 66.
Damn. Okay.
Maybe the Lions to not give up a future first to move up 20.
Yeah, that's huge.
But 32 and 34 are no joke. I mean, that's the
right.
That's a first and the second pick of the second round.
You moved up 20 picks in the first. You gave up a second, and then you moved up, and you moved back. No, you moved up 20 picks in the second. What?
But I think that's a great move for the Vikings, though, because they really need more defense than anything. And a lot of these good defensive players are falling like towards that bottom, late first, early second. So I think that's an excellent trade for them.
I offer these picks in drafts all the time where it's like, hey, here's these two, but you get these two. You know what I mean? And it's 12 for 32, 34 for 46, but I'm going to add in this third. So yeah, okay. I can get on board with that, but it's weird to see in the NFL when it's real people.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
Well, you go ahead, and then I'll jump on next.
I was just going to say this is just this whole wide receiver run now with Jameson Williams still on the board, or just wild to me. And then Burks is still there. I mean, teams that are in the early 20s that are looking for wide receivers, Green Bay.
Yeah, Kevin, I've noticed
liking this.
I've noticed you're high on Burks, right? As like possibly the top receiver in this class.
I don't have him as he's probably. I would put
maybe
Williams,
for dynasty. Like
Wilson.
I've just noticed you've been a little high on him, right?
I've been higher on him. As an unabashed Packer fan, that just seemed to line up very well for them to be able to get a guy like Burks. I think he would be my wide receiver 4 behind Williams, Olave, Wilson. Burks would probably be that next guy, and then
If you've seen it, don't answer. Who are the Lions going to take? Because it's already in. So if you guys haven't taken,
I haven't seen it. Well, trade up for
while we're waiting,
Desmond Ridder.
While we're waiting, I think that this kind of presents an opportunity to give away a draft guide and do some trivia. So if you guys are in the chat, it's going to be multiple choice, A, B, C, or D. Whoever gets it right, and the first person to get it right wins a Fantasy Alarm NFL draft guide. So I thought that this one was kind of relevant with all of these crazy trades. So who did the Atlanta Falcons trade with in 2011 to move up for Julio Jones? Was it A, the Cincinnati Bengals, B, the Arizona Cardinals, C, the Cleveland Browns, or D, the Jacksonville Jaguars?
All right, Servo, you also got to answer the question.
Let's let some people in the chat.
I don't want to give away.
But yeah, I think these trades are just insane.
Give us the question again.
Yeah, that's a good thing to repeat it. All right, who did the Atlanta Falcons trade with in 2011 to move up for Julio Jones? Was it A, the Cincinnati Bengals, B, the Arizona Cardinals, C, the Cleveland Browns, or D, the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Do you all know?
No, I have no idea.
No idea.
The Eagles moved up to 13.
The Eagles
they moved up? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so the trade question was perfect. This is just bananas.
Well, so I saw who the Lions are taking. Did you guys see that?
Don't answer it yet. I don't know why I said that. Yes, you can answer it.
It's Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
Okay.
The sun
wow.
god is no more.
You mean to say that 4th round wide receiver that they took last year wasn't going to be like the top overall stud
I'm so
in
glad this happened.
No.
I'm so glad this happened.
Eat it, nerds! Wow.
Look
So
at-
now now the
Impemba's
target
comment, by the way, all those Amon-Ra St. Brown shares trending down.
the target pecking order now goes Jameis. How would you rank it? Jameson Williams, TJ Hawkinson, Chark, Swift. I'm on Ross St. Brown, dude. Yikes. I mean, he was always just a fill-in 4th round pick. They had 2 3rd round picks last year and they didn't take him there. So how high could they even bet on the guy?
Yeah. I mean, Williams, so I guess they're sticking with Goff. We'll see if they take another quarterback in this draft or if they're the team that trades for Baker Mayfield, but
Or Jimmy.
Wow.
Well, I don't know if you go.
I'm
I
getting
don't know if
tagged
you
on
go Jimmy or
stuff.
Baker over.
Oh my
over
God,
Goff.
Kevin.
I'm sorry.
All right. Is anybody
Oh.
else going to answer the trivia question?
Well, did anyone get it right in the chat?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, get him up there. Get him in line. Get him there. Draft guy.
So
What the heck?
yeah,
My
so
man-
the answer, Kevin Perry got it correct with the Cleveland Browns. So the Browns received picks 26, 59, and 104, and in the 2011 draft, and 22 and 118 in the 2012 draft. While all the Falcons got was the 6th pick overall. So you would think that the Browns would do something with that. They used those picks on Greg Little and Brandon Weeden. So I think Atlanta won that trade.
oh, Brandon Weeden, wow.
The oldest of the old man. We're talking about age concerns with Kenny Pickett, right?
Former
Weeden
minor
was
league
like
baseball
30.
player Brandon Weeden.
Can we go live to Kevin Tompkins, who the Eagles might have just moved up to take Burks? What?
No,
What happens?
no,
What
no,
happens
no,
to the
no, no,
No,
no.
Packers later this
I
round?
think I think what they did. I think they're taking Jordan Davis with this pick. I haven't seen that
No.
reported, but I feel like they wanted to. I've read like pre-draft stuff that they wanted to trade up in front of.
Oh my God.
The
Did you see the
Ravens.
haul? The Eagles traded up for 13. The Texans got 15, 124, 162, and 166. Like, it seems like a bunch of nothing, but still.
To move up.
Wait. Okay,
So they got a bunch
moved
of,
up
like,
2
really
and they
late-
gave them like a 4, 5, 6.
Or I think
No,
like
3, 4, 5.
I think they're all 4th, depending on the complimentary picks. 4th and
And
later.
The Eagles feel like the Vikings, they feel like they made out like man. I mean, I guess it's 20 compared to 2. So yeah, okay.
Can y'all hear me, by the way?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay, because I was looked like my video or something was slowing down. I don't even know what happened.
We had your audio, but your video froze.
Oh, okay. That's a lot to give up, though.
Even the late rounds, you think that, they might just be practice squad guys or whatever, but we've seen some really good players come from those later rounds that develop later on after a year or two. So that's just, I don't know.
So-
The Eagles are going Jordan Davis with this pick.
That's who they took. Yeah.
Okay.
Albert Breer is like from the future.
Yeah, he's on top
So-
of it.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're doing a stream anyway, so screw
Yeah.
the people watching the draft. We'll just drop Albert Breer picks in here, and we'll be
Yeah,
ahead of
right.
the game.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I got nothing to lose. So yeah, Albert Breer's already tweeted out a full minute ago. That's how ahead he is than everything else.
I gotta say,
So-
as an Eagles fan, I love this pick. I love
Yeah.
it. Because they got their situation is they got Fletcher Cox on like a 1-year deal. I don't know what they're gonna do after that. I mean, maybe he's slowing down a bit, but they just like always go defensive line, like I was saying earlier. And I like the pick. Jordan Davis is a freak. I mean, this dude, like for years, I feel like he could be really good. So
I
Kevin,
mean, ridiculous. Like, what did he run at the combine? It was like insane how fast this guy ran.
it was like
it was
I don't even know, but it was very fast. Yeah.
yeah. It was like, here, I'll pull it up. It was like it It was like what tight ends run. He ran a 4.78. That's what Zach Ertz ran. You know what I mean? Like this guy, it's ridiculous. At 6'6", 341, that guy ran that, dude. That's nuts, bro. That is scary. That coming down on you. Oof.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry ran a 4.73. Zach Ertz ran a 4.76. This guy ran a 4.78 at 340 pounds.
Yeah, he's gonna be running down ball carriers.
Yeah. He's insane. And, he kind of got lost in that mix of just the way that all the defensive players did in Georgia because there were just so many good ones. But what he showed at the combine, I'm like, okay, this guy's the real deal. He's got it.
Is it my turn on the tracker? Does anyone know?
Britt got me on the tracker.
Yeah, I'm all discombobulated because of the millions of trades, and then the mention that the Eagles were going to take Burks just made my brain explode for a second. So I was just like, it's my turn.
13 is Coop, and then Britt is 14.
So we just had Saints, Lions, Eagles all trade up in a row, and what everybody thinks is a tier break at wide receiver is next up at wide receiver, right? I mean, it's kind of Burks, and then people think that there's a tier break because they talk about the top 5. Am I missing something there?
Yeah, I mean, they have it's gonna be interesting to see where Burks goes. So we got Baltimore's not going to take a receiver. Houston might at that pick, but Washington maybe traded back thinking that they could still get Burks at that pick.
Yeah.
I swear, if Burks goes anywhere in the NFC East, I'm going to physically die.
Yeah, I think it would be a near miracle if Green Bay stood pat at 22 and had a shot at him. I just don't know.
Time to trade up, man. If they really want it, they've got those 2 picks.
Brian Gutekunst trading up?
Trading up for a receiver.
Is this comedy hour?
He might trade up for a quarterback, but not a receiver. What are we talking about here?
It's funny because it's true.
Low blow. I'm sorry.
Kevin, you guys can stay put and get Jahan Dotson, though. That'd be a good pick.
It's funny. I just tweeted that yesterday. Is that why you're laughing, Gary?
Yes. Because of your text to the group of what would happen should that occur.
Yeah, I tweeted yesterday. I was like, if you don't think Green Bay needs a first or second round receiver with the 4 picks, join us in this century. And then the tweet below it was me tomorrow. No, not that one, referring to Jahan Dotson. It's all it's coming right together. It's in the stars. I will be right back, by the way.
The best thing for Kev. So the best thing for Kev would be if Christian Watson went off the board right now.
Oh, man. Let's tell him that it happens when he comes back.
When he comes back, we'll tell him that somebody cooked Christian Watson.
That they drafted Malik Willis.
Yeah. Well,
another quarterback.
Some of the Vikings traded up to do.
He lives in Fargo, so he's a big fan of Christian Watson because he went to North Dakota State.
I see.
So yeah, so he's like he want them to take a really good wide receiver, but he's also quietly hoping that they take the wide receiver that he really wants. So the best thing ever would be for somebody to reach on that player ahead of them. So when he gets back, we'll tell him that who's on the clock right now.
I'm so confused by how far ahead we are.
Yeah, I don't think that I think that's why I got confused too.
So
I think
Baltimore. Well, so
Ravens?
are we getting this from
the Ravens are on
just
the clock?
The Twitter?
Yes,
because they haven't announced this on the stream yet.
They have not.
Yeah. So Albert Breer is doing what the league pretty much told everyone not to do. This is what used to happen. So this used to happen is they used to give the picks out way before. Way before they were up to Twitter. Basically, everyone said you're a jerk if you do that. And Albert Breer apparently is I really don't care.
It's ruining everything.
Yeah, they definitely toned down Schefter because he used to do that.
Used to do too.
And now are you guys watching ESPN or NFL Network? By the way,
I'm not even watching it anymore. I'm just looking at Twitter. The Ravens just took Kyle Hamilton, safety.
What?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're seriously ahead. We've got to stop this.
I mean, why?
No, well, just for
We got the best stream. We got
sake?
the best stream in the industry.
True.
We're in the future.
True. Well, I guess so. What 14 is Ravens, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because all of this
Kyle
going ahead is really messing up my.
Okay, so when Kev gets back, we tell him that the Ravens took
Christian
Kyle
Watson.
Hamilton. The Ravens took Kyle Hamilton, and that the Texans took Christian Watson.
So the Texans are at 15.
Yeah. So when he gets back, no, Servo, you do it. So when he gets back, I'll tell him that the Ravens took Kyle Hamilton, and then you go, "Oh, the pick is in for the Texans. They took Christian Watson," just to see what he says. I want to see what he says.
Albert Breer says,
All right, Kev. So while you were gone, the Ravens. Kev, can you hear us?
Yes.
The Ravens took Kyle Hamilton, safety. Albert Breer already said the pick, and now the Texans are on the clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and Breer just tweeted.
Breer.
We got receiver for the Texans, Christian Watson.
Get out of here, dude.
What?
No.
Are you serious?
Well, he's dead.
Kev.
I'm kidding. For everyone
We're kidding,
watching,
Kev. Kev, we're kidding. We're messing with you.
thank you, Kevin Perry, for jumping in on this.
The Ravens did go Hamilton though.
The Ravens did go Hamilton, but while you were gone, we were like, all right, all Kev's favorite guys are getting taken for the Packers. Let's see what he says if we tell him that Christian Watson got taken too.
It's not like that's unbelievable either. That's the crazy thing.
Right. He's one of those dudes, right? Like he's one of those guys that's such a freak athlete, and you never know from small school he could go in this round. There's no question.
He's like the guy, if you could like translate it to the NBA, he's like that 7'2" center from Senegal who like will play like in the African like professional league for 3 years and then show up on the Mavericks and be a NBA first teamer.
So by the way, so we have a couple players fallen. So we got like Malik Wallace. I mean, his over under was 12.5. So it's that's over now. Jermaine Johnson is his over under was 9.5, and he's over.
Everyone's taking these receivers like it's a swarm.
Yeah, the receiver run happened. I mean, it happened. Like Olave went a lot earlier than I thought.
Yeah.
So I have a question about the wide
really
receivers
good
so far.
defensive players.
So we have 4 wide receivers gone, right? So we have Drake London from first to the Falcons. We got Garrett Wilson to the Jets, and we have Chris Olave to the Saints and Jameson Williams to the Lions. Of those 4, how would you rank them relative to your current startup drafts? Let's just say in a magic world at pick 15, you are now starting a startup draft. A rookie draft. How do you do that again?
I'll let somebody else take this. I can't. Yeah, I can't. I think that Kyle Pitts takes the dip.
The thing with London is that you just don't know who's going to be the quarterback like in 2 years with the Falcons, right? Like there's the loaded quarterback class next year. So if the Falcons go that direction or if they re-sign Mariota there, I just don't know how much like volume a guy like London's going to get in that offense, especially with Pitts.
Yeah.
So
I still think there's enough there for him, though. I mean, we talk about the lowest passing volume team still passes the ball like 500 times a year. So, I mean, unless you're saying like Pitts is going to have like 180 targets or something, that which is just wild. I mean, there's somebody else it's Auden Tate. You know, who else is there? Zacchaeus, Frank Darby. This might be a condensed. Unless they add, which they can certainly add, but it might be pretty condensed in Atlanta. That could at least give London a shot at like 110, 120 targets.
Like how the Titans were.
Howard's still hurting from that Jets pick, dude. Hey, but Howard, at least you guys got a wide receiver. Now they're all flying off the board,
I like that somebody earlier dropped the 2 towers, and then they forgot that Auden Tate was there in Atlanta, and it's the 3 towers because that dude's a big boy.
He's a moose. Hey, let me ask real quick. Let me ask the chat: do you guys want us to say the picks when we know them, or wait till the stream comes up? Does anybody have any objection to us giving the picks that when somebody like Albert Breer like gives them in advance? Would you guys? Is there anyone out there that doesn't want us to do that? Is what I'm asking. Because otherwise, we'll just keep doing it because I prefer to just know who's being picked. But if anybody is trying to do like a simultaneous thing and doesn't want us to do that, then let us know. But until then, I'm going to keep saying them because I think it's hilarious. Nothing yet.
No objection. We'll keep going.
Yeah, there we go. Hell yeah. Break. Yeah, here's
Speak
Grande.
now or forever.
Grande, break the
end.
F and news. We already swore Grande would have been close there. You're on a warning, Grande. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, when the picks come, we're just gonna say them.
I definitely feel like it's an indictment in Superflex rookie drafts that we are 15 picks in. We haven't seen a quarterback go. We've seen 4 wide receivers go, and 3 of them are quarterback needy teams for the future. It's like everybody is wondering, okay, when do we race to the bottom? And that's why I really like the Lions pick. I think that Jameson's going to be coming off of that injury. He's going to take a little bit more time. And regardless of what they do or don't do, they should be able to have some capital to move up and get what they need to do from a quarterback perspective. I like Jameson with New Orleans. I don't care what anyone says. Jameson's going to be one of those guys that's going to get drafted at QB like 18 to maybe 21. And he's going to finish as like 12 to 14. And people are going to be like, dude, that guy was legit. There was a comp earlier to like Evans and Godwin. I won't go that far, but dude, we've seen what Michael Thomas can do. And if Olave can be what we think he can be, that's going to be awesome because Evans and Godwin didn't have Alvin Kamara. I mean, maybe Jameson won't, just based off of what happens with his legal situation, but we will still have Kamara probably there with those 2.
Sorry, the pick is in here. It's actually Kenyan Green. This is a guy that I talked about with Howard on the Sirius XM show, saying that he's a guy that was potentially under the radar, but apparently he's not because he went 15. The comp that I have for this guy is Elijah Vera Tucker, who the Jets took last year around this pick. He can play he doesn't play center, but he can play every other spot along the offensive line. And if you're rebuilding from the inside out, the way that the Jets were last year and the way the Texans are this year, this is a perfect pick because you just get him in there and he starts somewhere for you. He starts at guard, he starts at tackle, but he's better than the guys they have at one of those positions. So it's kind of a can't miss pick, really, in my opinion. And if you like these kind of guys, Vera Tucker, him, if you have them starting at guard and one of your tackles gets hurt, now you can slide him over, right? So it's like it gives you that extra layer of depth where he can be your guard and your backup tackle, or he can be a tackle that next year when you draft a tackle, you just slide him over to guard. So I really like Kenyan Green. I was hoping the Pats might get him, but him going 15 is, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, the Texans. So like they traded back and they got a guy in Kenyan Green. A lot of times he was being mocked. Like in my mock, I had him going in the 20s to the Titans. And a lot of other people thought he'd be going later. So like they knew that they could get him, trade back and acquire more draft capital like they did they trade with the Eagles, right? So, I mean, that'd be kind of smart from them. And like you were saying, like Green is so versatile, like, and the Texans aren't going to be good this year, right? So they're already looking for next year beyond. And perfectly fine to acquire more draft capital.
I want to bring it.
Do it.
The Ravens just traded Marquis Brown to the Cardinals.
Wow.
How? What is going on?
That's wild, man.
What is going on?
What?
It wasn't the wide receiver we thought it was going to be.
No.
Wow.
I mean,
Sorry,
and they just
Servo.
picked
I feel
Hamilton.
like-
Why didn't they try to trade?
No,
Like,
don't apologize.
and package
That's huge.
I
but
hope
why
they take
didn't they try to package this trade?
What's that
For a
trade?
pick? Why did they wait to trade?
because they're gonna take Trent McDuffie.
But where do the Cardinals like? What's that?
It's pick 23, but you have to think that there's picks packaged into it. But
Why are they announcing that so early? Why not wait?
So
Wow.
that's why yeah.
Washington is going Jahan Dotson with this pick.
Is that from Breer?
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you for releasing me from my nightmare.
Woo!
Impemba, Coop need a reaction article.
Please, no, Howard. John, leave me alone, dude. I've done so many of these freaking reaction articles. I'm on. This is my vacation right now. I'm on draft vacation.
Yes.
Hit Colby Conway. He's got a party watching the Texans. Who's available?
Get Kirksey in
boy.
there.
All right, so that was pick 14 then. No,
That was 15.
15.
Yep, to the Eagles. So
Dude,
that's
just
Servo.
straight
Yours
up
was
for the
as soon as you came on,
23rd.
it became chaotic.
I know
I
it's all
think you brought
chaos.
the
Right?
chaos with you.
He brought this.
Who's after me? They got to keep it going. All the chaotic
Dang,
picks here.
John.
That'll be John.
Jahan Dotson went above Traylon Burks.
Actually,
I'll replace
yeah,
Coop so he can get to work.
but Howard's right. Technically, earlier on the show on Sirius, I was fired and replaced by Ian Fish. So Scott Fish's 9-year-old son he actually has my job now, so he can write the article, and I'm the one that that brings him, like, I don't know what a 9-year-olds drink, like Kool-Aid.
Capri Sun.
I bring a Capri Sun when he needs a break. So yeah, we have Ian Fish can write that breaking.
I love it.
article.
Oh my gosh, this is insane.
Is there any world where like Kyler's discomfort and or frustration, whatever, led to that? Because, sorry, I'm listening.
At
to
least
this
somebody's
pick
going out and get a wide
Well,
receiver.
I think the deal was that they probably realized that all of these receivers are flying off the board and the top tier ones that they want aren't going to be there. And Marquis Brown was a first rounder. I mean, he hasn't done much in Baltimore, but if you look at their scheme, they are more of a run heavy team. So maybe, I don't know.
Rashad Bateman?
I'm just throwing darts here. Yeah, Rashad
Look at
Bateman to the damn
Mark
moon.
Andrews, tight end 1.
Yep.
Let's go. Sorry, Jared Nettleman. Shouldn't have traded him to me. Sorry, guys.
It's interesting.
Well, the Cardinals, I feel like all the talk was like they're trying to get a burner to go next to Hopkins because he's like Will Fuller types, and I think if Dotson, they kind of got the sense, all right, he's going off the board. Maybe that's why they did this deal so they can get someone like Marquise Brown. It's crazy how much they don't care about receivers in Baltimore right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Like,
like
they're-
running backs and the tight end.
They're not, so they have the 23 pick. They're probably not going to own receiver there unless they go Burks if he's still available, but they don't really need receivers. So
Burks has to go to Dallas. I'm manifesting it. I am manifesting. Do not.
Don't ruin this for me, Albert
Please
Breer.
don't. Please don't. That's the thing. I'm going to find out, and I know that you guys like to mess with me. So, like, is it going to be true or false?
That's the real question. Yeah, I had the just to mess with you in my mock draft. I had the Cardinals taking.
I
Jalen
know,
Hurts.
and that's why I asked. I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
you did that on purpose. I knew that you did that on purpose.
I did. They were like, the funny thing is, the first picks I had in my draft were all really good. I was like 5 or 6, and then I was like, let's just make some troll picks in here to annoy some of these fan bases. Which one of them actually ended up being right with the Giants, but
That's wild. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Y'all hold it down.
you got it, kid.
Yeah, so Dotson over Burks. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not even the biggest Burks guy, but I mean, I know Dotson was certainly getting first round steam. It's just that's the way the NFL is going right now. It's passing games. It's getting multiple wide receivers. I mean, we just saw that with Marquise Brown getting traded to the Cardinals. I mean, it's defense and high flying passing games. That's the name of the game right now.
Man, Albert Breer took a break.
Did he? What does he say?
No,
What do you mean?
I'm refreshing a lot. And it's not enough. I need to charge my phone.
The trade for Hollywood Brown, the Ravens are trading a Hollywood Brown and a 3rd rounder, which 100 overall, to the Cardinals for that 23rd pick.
So the Cardinals were probably eyeballing some of these wide receivers, and as soon as they all went, they were just like, forget it. Let's go out and get somebody else, you know?
So in hindsight, with what Hollywood has been as part of their offense. Sorry that I'm saying my words. I just want to make sure that I asked this question correctly. Does a third round for Hollywood almost feel like, yeah, like we'll give like this feels pretty good. We are getting to move. We're getting your first round pick. You can take this guy, and we're getting a third. Like, he's really fast, but like he hasn't done enough. He feels like a third, like a mid to late second, early third pick from like what he's actually put up. Am I misremembering how good Hollywood has been thus far in the Ravens offense?
Well, I think
Does my question make sense?
I feel like the injury issues are always something with him, right?
Yeah.
And then there was that stretch where he like just would drop open touchdowns, and
Right.
like he was still
Yeah.
productive for fantasy overall, I guess, and he bounced back. But there was a stretch where like if you have him on your team, you're like, can I even start this guy? Am I on my roster?
Boom bust. Like Chargers pick is in. They're taking a guard, Zion Johnson.
Okay.
Zion has officially crossed into the NFL. So
That's a
there we
good
go.
pick. I had them taking Kenyan Green, so it's guard.
I love
guard
it for them.
situation. Yeah, it's what they need. That line is going to be really good now with Rashawn
Yeah.
Slater and those guys. So
Protect
I thought-
Herbert at all
I thought they were
costs.
going to be so good last year, and they did not take the step that I thought with Philo and with Kev. Who's the center that they got from the Packers last year? They got him. Sorry guys, but yeah, they're
Corey
building
Linsley.
the right-
Corey Linsley. it
Corey
was.
Lindsey, thank you. And I feel like they've been building the right way when you want to build up. You get some rookies, you get really, really good veteran kind of interior, and here we are now. They got another guard to add to it, so that's exciting.
That was pick 17, correct?
Yep.
I am updating the tracker here, but I have 1,000 characters to work with, so I'm trimming the fat here.
It's been a lot really fast.
It
Did
is.
Jahan
It
Dotson
really
really
is.
go? Like at 16, y'all weren't
know, right?
kidding. I thought that you guys were trolling again. I was like, oh, as soon as I get out of frame, we hear a Jahan Dotson thing.
I have a question for you guys. So currently, assuming maybe they draft a receiver, who knows? But the Ravens wide receivers, Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, Tylan Wallace, James Prochet. Who are you drafting first, and how early are they going off the board in redraft leagues of all those guys?
No way.
I don't know if I'd touch it.
True.
Right?
I mean, the thing about that team is that you look at what they want to do, right? And they want to use multiple tight end sets. They want to use a fullback, Patrick Ricard. Patrick Ricard played 43% of the snaps last year. That's more than any of their running backs. 43% of the time that guy's on the field. That means when he comes on the field, a wide receiver comes out. When the second tight end comes on, the wide receiver comes out.
Wait, blockbuster
AJ Brown
trade.
was traded to the
Blockbuster
Eagles.
Trade.
What?
Blockbuster.
What do we got?
What is happening?
AJ
What
Brown
is
to the Eagles.
happening? Are you shitting me?
The Tompkins tumble just claimed another jersey.
Oh my! Someone joked about it earlier in the stream.
Wait.
I don't have the capabilities to add this,
Servo,
but they talked
I'm really
about
happy
AJ
for
being
you.
traded.
What
I
is
can't believe I'm
going
on the stream for this Eagles news right now.
Dude, this is
Hey,
wild.
somebody go up to the
It was
James
Grande.
Grande tweet at 7:24 p.m. Central. Once AJ Brown is traded, only one of Kev's signed jerseys will be with that team.
Shut up.
Grande.
Is that a tweet or is that in the chat?
Shit. It's in the chat. From
I will
James
protect
Grande.
T. Higgins with every fiber of my being.
Bro.
The
Wait.
Bengals
Yo,
pick
put
is coming
put
up
that on the
later
screen.
in the first
Put that on the
round.
screen so I can screenshot it. Put that.
What?
Where is that?
Holy shit!
Oh,
Wow.
boy.
So
I'm
the
playing
Titans
Mulatto.
get
God, I
Titans
love
get
the
number
no
18.
players traded comments. Not just from you guys, but to everybody, because it's totally true. And here we are. This is
that was Grande.
now what happens with Traylon Burks.
Dude,
Don't.
What?
Do not. I swear to God.
This is crazy.
I'm shaking like a chihuahua right now. I'm so nervous and there's so much chaotic energy in the universe right now. I cannot even handle it.
Dude, I'm tweeting that. I just screenshotted that. I gotta tweet it out. The Grande thing.
Did you get my face just morose?
All of our faces are ridiculous.
Oh my lord!
What?
So
Wow.
the Titans get number 18 overall and then a 3rd round pick, number 101.
What?
Wow.
Wow. So the Eagles traded up to get Jordan Davis and then made this trade. That's crazy.
I'm going to have more to
And
talk about with the actual trades than the rookie picks. You know?
Wait,
At
is
this
there-
Yeah.
Do the,
I'm kind of
do the
expecting
Titans take
something else
Burks?
to happen here too. I mean,
Do the Titans
Yeah.
take Burks?
Okay,
It's
so
Burks, it's Pickens. Like, if you're going to go with a wide receiver,
Robert Woods, baby.
they're a team like the I mean, not the same, but like similar to the Ravens. Like they don't really need. I mean, they have Julio, I guess. Like, do they really need to spend like a high draft capital on a receiver? You know, I mean,
they don't really have Julio. He's a free agent. Or they
Yeah.
released him, didn't they? They
Yeah,
actually
just
they
say
released
that
him.
Oh, I
Albert
guess-
Breer really dropped the
I guess
ball.
you're right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Albert Breer did not notify me of this. So, moving on.
Did somebody
That
get
was-
Albert Breer and
That
tell him
was
to shut up?
Schefter's one and only tweet of the draft.
Oh my gosh. This is so wild.
Oh, you know what it is? Breer tweeted that he's going live on NBC Sports to talk about the New England pick.
Fence
talk
team.
about-
Business has just picked up in the last 15 minutes.
Yes.
This is
It's
Wow.
like it's like the
This is-
wide receiver wild west. this
18
offseason.
and 101.
Okay, what does this-
18 and
What
a
does it
4?
do? What
18
does it
and
do
101.
to Devontae Smith in fantasy? Do you guys think?
I think it actually boosts him because he was the only real receiver last
It's-
year, you know?
It's real bad news for Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
No question. It can't be good. It can't be good. Because, I mean, like we always talk about, you want your guy to lead the team in targets or at least be top 2. And now it's Dallas Goedert against Devonta Smith. I don't know. How do you feel about
What-
that, Servo?
Important question. What does it mean for Jalen Reagor, though?
Jalen Reagor's fucking dust.
He is dust.
I think that'll go down as one of the worst first round picks, like maybe
not.
ever.
It's not good. And the problem is the guys picked afterwards. Because the thing is, at the time, I
Yeah.
liked the pick. Servo, did you like the pick at the time? I thought it was fine.
I mean, he was like a touchdown waiting to happen on every time he touched the ball in college. So it was like his highlights, and he played in like the Big 12 where there was no defense. So it was definitely skewed towards him just like breaking it off every time. So I was kind of excited, but he got to the NFL and he can't catch. He fumbles. He doesn't run routes well. So
it's rough, man. And the thing is that there's a lot of those. Like, you know, N'Keal Harry was supposed to be the can't miss pick, right? Like he was the can't miss guy, and he
Oh
missed
my
even
God.
worse than Rager.
yeah,
So
what
The
happened?
Titans are taking Traylon Burks.
Who
Yeah.
is?
The
The
Titans.
Titans.
Wow.
No.
Green
Wait,
Bay
are
is their wide receiver
you
core
serious?
is like if you watch Game of Thrones and the skeletons come to life in the crypt in Winterfell. That
Packers
is
are gonna
Green Bay's
trade
wide receiver
Debo.
core right now.
Let's see if the Packers trade for Debo, as all Niners fans got really excited about the 10th overall, and now they're just self-immolating, about to light themselves on fire.
No.
Can I just ask you guys one question real quick? Is it too early for this?
Well, Goot Coons, pack your and get out of town, okay? Because everyone who's a Packers fan hates you right now, pal.
well, I mean, it's not.
Is it ever too early for that? I don't know.
It's not like they
what if
didn't
the-
have.
What if the Packers trade for Debo Samuel tonight?
Well, then it
I don't have the Dumb and Dumber and totally redeem
Totally
yourself.
redeem yourself. Dude. Like it's not like I mean, the Packers only had apparently 7 or 8 chances to trade up so far, so it's not like. I mean, they could have traded. How many trades have there been now? Is this 5?
I've
Close
lost
to it.
track. This is-
The Packers could have traded up for wide receiver You know,
I really like this tweet I just saw. How did we go from paying Christian Kirk $72 million to trading A.J. Brown for the 18th pick?
this is wild. I'm not feeling good. I'm all of a sudden not feeling good about that cornerback bet. Like Trent McDuffie should have gone by now. I had him going to the Ravens. The Ravens didn't even pick.
Whoa.
Ravens.
There's no
A.J.
one else I
Brown.
would rather be with for these last six strings. This last six.
Did he
picks
sign long
than you
term? Did he
guys.
sign a
AJ
deal
Brown
too?
just got an extension from the Eagles too.
Yeah. You don't make that trade unless you're going to extend him. And
57 mil guaranteed.
The Cardinals are going to pick up the fifth
Attaboy.
round option on Marquis Brown too. So they'll get 2 years from Hollywood Brown at least.
Yeah.
Bro, what?
Man,
My
the
face
Cardinals
is
have-
perfect in that tweet, by the way, Coop.
What'd you
The
say?
Cardinals have so
I just
many
saw
receivers.
that tweet.
Oh yeah, the Grande one. The faces in
Oh my
that tweet
God.
are fucking amazing. Look at Gary. Gary's so fucking excited. He's like, "Ee."
I'm literally just doing this nonstop and then waiting for it to refresh just to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Britt, are you okay?
No, I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
Is Impemba in the chat or in the StreamYard?
I thought you'd be coming in earlier. I was ready to hop
Ugh.
out.
I'm
For
like,
you,
I don't know if you
100
can.
million.
I don't know if you can see this, but this is how bad I'm shaking right now.
Oh,
Like
no.
I
Ooh.
physically feel ill.
AJ Brown just got
You could-
25 mil a year.
You could
Oh
jump
my
off
God.
if you need.
Well, I mean, just
No.
think
You
about
gotta
it.
jump.
The Titans really like him. You know, I mean, like he could be the new Justin Jefferson, right? You trade away the AJ Brown, who is the Stephon Diggs, and you draft Traylon Burks, and he's your guy. You know, like,
I
look on the
just I
bright
don't
side.
like it with Tannehill. Blah.
Yeah.
I'm just sad. Y'all just let me be sad for a second.
You could be
It's a shame Brown played with a wide receiver quarterback and now running back at quarterback.
That's a good tweet, dude.
That's good.
In my main
this is-
fantasy league, I went from having AJ Brown and Woods being like, damn, they're both on the Titans, to now Woods is on the Titans. Like, what a weird combo that this girl went through.
Robert Woods is now our generation's Derek Mason. By the way.
JB, I'll tell you right now, buddy. If the Patriots pass on McFluffy, I'm taking a bite out of my phone. So he better not go. He better not go to the Bucks unless they trade up. I'm telling you right now, dog. Like if that happens and he just falls to the Bucks, not only does that mean I lose my cornerback bet, but it means the Patriots took somebody that I don't like.
So the
Have you-
Saints are on the clock.
Yeah. Have you guys done many like best balls yet? Okay.
Yes.
So where was Jalen Hurts going before?
He was going like shortly
Eighth,
after the
ninth?
shortly after the elite guys. Honestly, with the rushing upside, he's going.
Yeah,
like
he's going in the mix of like
Like
where
is he gonna
Brady
move up?
is going now, Rodgers.
I don't know how much
that kind
higher
of
he
thing.
can go.
Yeah.
I mean, he could surpass the pure passing quarterbacks. Because that's where it is. It's like the rushing guys go, and then like the Joe Burrows, those guys go, and then he goes right after. But he could go up into that group now,
gotcha.
like with like Josh Allen and those guys. I mean, Allen goes first. All right, so who's on the clock? I don't even know who's on the clock
The
anymore.
Saints are on the clock right
Saints.
now.
Saints are on the
Saints.
clock.
At how far? I mean, we weren't expecting running backs to go in the first, so I'm totally good with that. But how far does a running back have to fall where they just say Brees has to fall, where you start saying, okay, I'm going to take one of those top 4 or maybe 5 wide receivers over him in a rookie draft? Or is it
I
at
think
this
if he,
point you're like, hey, they're all in?
I think
here.
I think it really depends on landing spot.
Okay.
I just like because like last year was perfect for like Najee Harris, right? So
Yeah.
but if trying to think of like at the back end of this first round, say it's like the Bengals, like if they take Brees Hall, I mean now all of a sudden like where do you draft him? Compare like with Mixon there. So, but like I don't think the Bengals would, but I'm just saying like as an example, like if it was like a team that's like, all right, we want just another running back in the mix, like the Chiefs for for whatever reason, you just like, but if he goes to a team like I don't know, a spot where he can just be the starter right away, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, if he goes to like Houston or something like that, and you get those dynasty, talent over landing spot truthers out of the woodworks, just loving life. But I mean, in Superflex, I still really like Breece Hall. As far as talent wise, I like him over the wide receivers. I just think the dude's only 20 years old right now. He's gonna be 21 when the season starts. I mean, I just pray. I mean, landing spot has to be a factor, with him. But if he lands in a neutral spot, I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, 4 years, $100 million for AJ Brown.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Is it?
That's
it's only
pretty,
a lot
in
because
this
you have
market.
Jalen Hurts.
That's pretty.
But
in
if you had
this
a real
economy?
quarterback, that duo, God, that duo could be so good.
If I was him, I would
That's
just
so
play
sad.
4 years, buy a couple, Wendy's or something, and just coast, man. Like, no reason to play like 10 years if you have $100 million. Just play 4 years, and then you can just, buy a couple of gas stations, and you're good. Kids are good.
I told Teresa
Gas
that
stations.
Calvin Johnson.
when my son, or Ewan, his name, gets in trouble, that we're just going to make him go out and kick field goal and just be a place kicker. And that's just what he's going to have to do instead of timeout. He's going to hate it, but I'm just going to be like, dude, veteran minimum. Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
All right, Albert Breer has broken this pick. We'll do this pick, and then I think we got to say bye to Servo because we have another guest hanging around. So this pick
And Koopa will be fighting for his job.
Fighting for my job with Impemba, fighting for it with Ian Fish. But the Saints have now taken Northern Iowa offensive tackle Trevor Penning.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's a really great pick. It replaces Armstead. Penning's one of the best run blockers in this entire draft. It plugs that hole immediately. I love that pick.
My favorite part of that pick is that's who I had them picking at this pick, and I'm once again right. So really love
I
that.
had them taking Penning at 16, so he falls here to that 19 for them.
You get points for that. I give you points for that.
I'll take it.
They traded out of that pick anyway, so you were in the neighborhood.
I also had them taking Olave, but at 19, but they traded up to do that. So how about that?
Servo, before you go, give us your prediction for the Steelers so that we can be like, oh, Servo was right.
Malik Wallace.
Ooh, I like that.
It's looking that it might fall that way for sure.
I had them taking.
I didn't think you'd fall this far, honestly, but
yeah,
I think they go that.
Yeah, I had them taking Desmond Ridder because I had Willis going already, so I'll take credit for that pick if they take Willis. Just like we'll serve a half credit. That's what we're calling it for the rest of the stream. If you can justify why your pick was kind of right, even though it was wrong, that's called the Servo half credit. The Servo half credit for the rest of the stream.
Oh my gosh.
So Willis goes here. I get a Servo credit.
All right.
For that one.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, brother. Thanks for coming on, dude.
I
Really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah. Make sure you guys
Appreciate
follow.
bringing me on.
Yeah. Can we put the thing back up there? Make sure you follow him at Dan_Servodidio. All right. He's awesome.
Appreciate it,
Absolutely. Good to talk to you. Not in the Slack chat, Dan, by the way.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll get back to that next time.
Sure, man.
Tomorrow.
Right,
yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Tomorrow. All right. See you guys.
Later, brother.
Dan Servodidio, just like it sounds.
I mean, the hits keep on coming here because Andrew Cooper now has to fight for his job with Mr. Jon Impemba.
Who let the boss in here?
Coop has his job. It's just that, we just need him working a little bit more.
Oh my God, dude.
I mean, this is the fact that I don't already have Marquis Brown trade reaction article sent in, an AJ Brown trade like what's he doing? Just sitting on stream with you guys? He can't.
He's just sitting talking to his friends with nothing
at the same time.
My hands have been off stream. I should have been writing it the whole time.
Yeah.
Boop, boop,
Until
boop.
your fingers hurt, I want you to continue to write. So.
Oh, your fingers hurt?
Well,
Now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty.
You got your Melvin Gordon article. You got your 8 different
First
division
of all, I
articles.
got our Melvin Gordon article. Okay,
That's right.
We've been the Melvin Gordon truthers here for over a year now, and everybody was championing his downfall. Not us. We held strong.
He's back, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is dead.
Yeah. Make sure you dig up all those Reddit articles and tweets that you sent out there telling everybody how wrong they were about Amon-Ra St. Brown.
No one ever eats crow on Reddit. Dude, I've done bets with people on Reddit, and they just delete their account. Like all, and I can't delete mine because it's like, that's where, I post all my stuff. So yeah, look at JV. For all the fantasy alarm dudes are ganging up on me. Is that who went?
What?
Kenny Pickett.
Really? Okay.
Enough check marks are saying it. Yep, Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
You see like 1, 2.
Wow.
Like, no. Yep, Kenny Pickett.
We're in big trouble. Us cornerback bettors are in big trouble right now.
Yeah.
We go live to the ball blast ladies going.
Has he got the hand size to be able to lift up the Steel City?
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Can't hold girders with those hands.
No, I really like it though. I think it's a much better immediate solution at quarterback than Willis would have been. I mean, the hand size notwithstanding, he's got great pocket presence and he can move in the pocket, which is really important with Pittsburgh's line because they haven't really done a lot of things to fix that line. So that pocket's going to break down pretty fast. Yeah, I think that's a good pick.
I mean, they had a stopgap there, obviously. Following Big Ben, so they needed to find someone for the future. It definitely feels like the right move to make. They just, like you said, they need to make improvements on that offensive line, or else none of it's going to matter. So.
Yep.
Oh boy.
If Pickett does start over Trubisky, though, does it change your outlook on Najee? Because I know a bunch of people were talking about like how Trubisky doesn't check down, how he runs the ball more, and how that would damage Najee's fantasy value. So. How do you guys feel about that?
John?
I think he's too much of a beast to be completely taken out of any offense anyway. So, I feel like, what we saw out of Trubisky in an old offensive scheme, with Nagy, who didn't know what he was doing as a coach, to what he's coming into a new system where they're basically implementing their offense on him, not they're sort of building around what he can do. To me, that Harris would just be involved anyways.
Yeah, I mean, the pick I had for them, I had the Steelers taking Zion Johnson. And I thought that would have been better for Najee Harris. Like, if they had done work to help the offensive line, I think that would have been more important than taking a quarterback. But at the end of the day, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if Kenny Pickett ends up being a stud quarterback, that's good for everybody in that offense.
I love that saying, Coop.
I'm not even sure if I used it correctly. But you get the idea. You get the idea, right? Like, what's the rising? It's the same thing as like the rising tide lifts all boats. Like, you need to score the team needs to be in a position to score touchdowns. Like LeGarrette Blount didn't score 18 rushing touchdowns on his own. He scored them because he plays with Tom Brady. Aaron Jones had a stretch of 30 touchdowns in 30 games because he plays with Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like, the touchdowns are part of the offense. So. If you can improve the offense that way, great. But I just felt like, that line, they've always been the offensive line's always been the pride of that team, and lately is nothing to really be proud about. As Gary said on last year's draft, when you were talking about Najee Harris, you were like, Najee's going to run behind what,
That was my biggest thing and why I wasn't taking him as early as he was. Obviously, I was proven wrong because he was just an absolute volume monster. He sort of overcame the bad offensive line just by being able to touch the football as often as he did. But I was, people were like, well, how bad can it get? They were the worst offensive line in football last year. It's like, well, it's not that they can get worse, but they didn't get any better. So it was the same outcome. He was just, better than what they had in James Conner and whatever else they were running out there at the running back position, that he was able to overcome that.
I want to know the impact that this will have on Deontay. Deontay has just been this rising every year, just gets better and better, and just been rock steady. And what happened? It's he has his own drops, but like, we eventually know he's getting better, and every year. And I think the dude has a sky's the limit type thing somewhere. Probably top 8 wide receivers, and yet I don't know what having a rookie does, if he's a safety blanket or not, but.
It depends on the rookie. I mean, if he, not obviously it's different talent, but you see some rookie quarterbacks come in and thrive and have no problems and connecting with your top receivers, then you have other quarterbacks like we saw last year with the majority of them all struggle. So, to me, it all really depends on the quarterback. Is not really what the wide receiver is going to be able to do.
Yeah.
This pick right here, I just want to say that like it does go to show that there's going to be a lot of picks where the NFL guys have it right and the fantasy guys have it wrong, because in fantasy football we like to jump out to best case scenario, right?
Yeah.
Like we think, oh, Malik Wallace, he runs, he throws, that's best for fantasy, he's going to go first. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that also got applied to the running backs, where there are a lot of NFL pundits that say Kenneth Walker is going to be first, or they say even Isaiah Spiller is going to be first, where we say Breece Hall is a guy that does everything. But we're coming from a place of fantasy football, whereas NFL teams care about first downs. They care about scoring from the 2-yard line. You know what I mean? So Kenneth Walker might be the first guy. That doesn't mean he's the best for fantasy, but sometimes the NFL pundits do get these right, surprisingly. It's their job too.
Yeah. Well, with Kenny Pickett being the first quarterback taken in the first round, so we know that we're getting one in this night, I guess. I'm trying to not be redundant and say round. But
be shocked, but Rappaport's reporting the Patriots have traded back.
Okay. That makes sense.
Oh my God. I can't believe it.
Weird.
Yeah. Shocker. Well, how many? I guess we can give away another draft guide here since Impemba is on with us.
In honor of Impemba being here and the Patriots trading back as they always do.
Yes, exactly.
Guide, right?
Yeah.
John,
I can't wait to see the long snapper they take from DeVry.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be the best long snapper of all time.
Hey,
really
the Patriots like Rutgers, guys. Come on now.
That's true.
We wait the whole draft. We wait 2.5 hours every single year, and he does basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, all this hype around Jerry Jones making a splash and trading up, and that obviously hasn't happened. So it's kind of the same thing with Cowboys fans. You hear all this talk and bluster and whatever, and nothing ever happens. But so for you guys in the chat, how many years has there not been a quarterback drafted in the first round since the merger? Is it A, 0, B, 2, C, 4, or D, other? I don't know if anybody's in the chat.
Can you say it again?
Yeah, of course. I'm switching back and forth.
I'm trying to think about it.
Yeah. How many years has there not been a quarterback drafted in the first round? Is it A, 0, B, 2, C, 4, or D, other?
I wish I had Jeopardy music right now.
Do, 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 do,
I know the answer to this because it's in a chat, and I still don't know the answer to this.
Yeah, Chiefs have traded up with the Patriots, by the way.
Okay.
Dude, this is actually
Wait,
terrible.
really?
This is terrible news for the guy I want to be there for the Patriots to take is there. I wanted them to take Trent McDuffie, cornerback. We need a cornerback. He's there. I also have the cornerback bet going on. So if the Chiefs
I saw a few check marks saying they took Duffy, and that's what's so confusing. I even put it in the private chat here.
The Pats took him?
Yeah, but then I'm also seeing the Chiefs thing, which Pemba just said.
I've got Chiefs
all the
on the
Patriots
clock
guys.
right now.
Jeff Howe just said they traded out.
You're right.
Moved up.
Right.
So.
That was very weird.
Well, if the Chiefs take Trent McDuffie, then I'll be
21 for 29, 94, and 121.
I mean, that's a classic Belichick move. You still get a first-round pick. You acquire a fourth and a sixth, then you're good to go.
All right, I'm going to break in here because JB needs the choices again for this question, but it's A0, B2, C4, or D other.
And I will say, Kevin Perry, I love your spirit. I don't know if we're giving you a second draft guide, though.
No matter what, whether you're right or wrong.
Yes. It's an embarrassment of riches. All right, we got it with JB. The answer is D. It's actually 5. So
the answer is never other. That's such a curveball, Britt.
I know, but I don't know. But
I like that. I like
It's
that.
1974, 84, 85, 88. So apparently the 80s just had trash quarterbacks. And the latest being 1996 without a quarterback in the first round. So, JB, we got you a draft guide.
JB's a lifetime member to Fantasy Alarm, I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna say, I am pretty sure he is. JB, if you want to give away your draft guide,
If you want to give somebody a draft guide, JB, let us know who, and we'll hook them up.
Yeah, for sure.
Give it to your wife.
All right, so
you can go to the expo.
What's the pick here?
All right, it's in.
It seems like it's going to be Johnson, McDuffie, or they really like one of these wide receivers.
I'm sad.
Like, is there a fourth option there?
If that was a question in the, I think that was a question in the draft like questionnaire. I'm sad.
They took McDuffie.
They took McDuffie?
I think so.
Dude, that's the player that I wanted my team to take, but my team traded to that team, then that team took him.
Oh.
Yeah.
That feeling.
But you got a fourth and a sixth.
Yeah.
I'm ready for disappointment. Let's go.
Wait, now we
You know that y'all know that
How
Belichick
many-
turns those
how many
late
six-
rounds.
How many 6th round picks do we have now?
I don't know. We got a third in that deal. We got the 29th. We got the 94th, which I think is a third. And isn't 121 like a fifth? So
6th.
Or a fourth? What's 121?
The thing is, it doesn't add up because of all the.
It'll be a fourth because of the compensatory.
So we got a first,
Actually,
third,
I
and
didn't
fourth
do
for
that.
a first. Okay.
Well, because of the comp picks, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be even later.
121 is 121 is a
Well,
fourth.
so all right.
Packers
So let's
take Tebow.
if we take we need a corner. I mean, what if we take like Kyler Gordon at that pick? I mean, and what if Kyler Gordon's better than Trent McDuffie? Then we really kind of pulled their pants down with that trade. But I don't know. Now it seems I think the Patriots are now gonna take a linebacker like a N'Kobe Dean or something.
I think that would be a great pick.
We do need linebackers.
Yeah.
My thought process on that is that Gerard Mayo was already in the conversation with teams to not only be a potential defensive coordinator, but maybe an offense. I mean, or maybe a head coach, right? So that was in the cards, but he's back with the Patriots this year. If you draft a linebacker, he can learn from Mayo before Mayo gets poached. Like, I think that would be
Learn from Mayo, learn from Hightower, right? Like all of
exactly. So
Kevin, I really hope that the Packers take Jermaine Johnson here and then get a wide receiver with their next pick, the one that they really want, just because I want you to be happy. But I think
Green Bay right now is sorting by the highest RAS score and then just picking whoever is at the top.
that's how fantasy football works, right?
That is literally Brian Gutekunst right now is scouring Kent Lee Platt's Twitter account for the highest RAS score.
What's the current equivalent to DeGuara in this draft? I think they'll probably just take another one of them. Hybrid tight end fullbacks. Yeah.
Jordan Love is the equivalent.
The
You can play both. But seriously, they get Johnson.
Josh
pretty
Baddick
sick,
from
man.
North Dakota State. That is Josiah DeGuara.
Oh,
Nobody knows. I know.
Jake Ferguson.
I like some of these players that get picked a little bit later than expected and have that extra chip on their shoulder.
Green Bay's gonna go out and get Caden Smith and call that an upgrade.
JB.
you did promise. You did.
I did promise I'd take a bite out of my phone. I will off air. You know Howard doesn't like that kind of behavior on the stream.
Put me out of my misery, Albert Breer.
PG-13, Coop, you know?
That's true. Yeah, I can't be eating electronics. Plus, I need this phone to see who Albert Breer is spoiling for the next picks. So,
Right.
Who's even on the? Who's? Oh, actually, I gotta do the write up for this.
What's the next Green Bay pick after this? This is 28.
28.
28.
Yeah,
They took
28.
They took Quay Walker from Georgia,
What?
linebacker.
Over Devin Lloyd and Dean? Oh, Kevin.
They took
I'm
this
so
as
sorry.
the third best inside linebacker. Gotta love it.
On Georgia.
Wow.
This is the third. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Wow.
That's all right. He'll sit behind Chris
I don't even.
Barnes.
Well, we don't even have a write up for him. I don't think. Maybe we.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We should.
Yeah, I did the linebackers. I should know.
That's the hallmark of a Green Bay Packer selection. We don't have a write-up for him.
I had to do the write-up for McDuffie. That's like cruel and unusual punishment. Kev should have to do the write-up for this weird linebacker.
Right. I think he's suffered enough.
Quay Walker, a lot of people, there were definitely people that had him in the first round, though. I'm pretty sure. So there's a few guys.
Pretty good.
There's a few guys that are really good. I think, dude, Josh Norris had like the best mock draft ever last year. And he had, I know I saw him in the first round for him, maybe in the first half of the draft, Quay Walker. So he knew something. Here, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Josh Norris had Quay Walker going 13 to the Texans. So it's not crazy. And Josh Norris, like I said, they say that the mock draft he did last year was the most accurate mock draft there's ever been. So Kev, at least you got that.
I am gonna put my reaction in the private chat right now if you want to see how I feel.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Kev. If it makes you feel better, Dallas is probably going to take Linderbaum at this point.
I'd rather have him. I'd rather have get Raymond. Like, come on. At least I know we could use a tackle at this point. I would rather have a tackle than an inside linebacker. I would rather have a defensive lineman than an inside linebacker. I would rather have a safety than an inside linebacker. I would rather have Trey McBride than an inside linebacker.
I've never been so excited for pick 28 of a draft.
Trey McBride would have been awesome.
He better be like Darius Leonard, is all I'm going to say. That's like the only way that this pick is worthwhile.
This draft is just been bananas. Again?
Sorry, I'm late. I had to bounce out.
Who's on the clock now?
No, but you said they traded to the Bills.
Ravens just traded to the Bills. The Bills are on at pick 23. I may have missed it when it.
No, but the
happened.
Ravens have.
Yes, the Ravens did. I think they traded.
They traded the 25th pick. So with that,
I had the.
Are the Bills moving?
The Bills are on the clock.
Yeah, the Cardinals traded 23, right?
Or I think the Ravens got the Cardinals pick,
23.
and then they just traded it to the Bills.
Bills.
This is madness. We need like one of those walls with the red strings.
The Bills traded 25, right? So no, but it makes sense though because Britt. So the Bills were picking 25. They were scared the Cowboys were going to take this player, so they traded to hop right in front of the Cowboys to take whoever they're taking. So whoever the Bills take right now, it's specifically because they were scared of the Cowboys. Otherwise, you don't trade up 2 picks. Yep. So let's see what player this is. Oh my God, I wish Traylon Burks is still on the board. But that would have been amazing if Traylon Burks is still on the board and that's who they took. But we'll see who it is.
They swapped and got 130 for it.
Who's the best wide receiver on the board?
Watson,
at this
Pickens.
Sky Moore.
Pickens. It's a mix between Moore, Watson, Pickens.
I think
whatever
you
want.
Johnson. They take Jermaine Johnson.
I bet they take Andrew. I think they take Andrew Booth Jr., the cornerback from Clemson.
Yeah, but man, this is so stressful.
Linderbaum, maybe.
I don't know if they really like need
Why
a
is
center.
Chat's saying Logan Hall, the defensive tackle.
What?
But maybe that's just it could just be a guess.
Some of these picks are not making sense.
It makes no sense at all.
Play it. Yeah. Play the clip.
I don't think we can.
Do we have the rights to do that?
No.
I don't. It might. I think it's so short that it might not matter, but I'd rather not test it tonight.
That's why I regaled you with my song stylings.
That was beautiful.
I was looking at Albert Breer's Twitter, so I actually thought you had played the clip. It sounded just like it.
It really was great.
All right, Impemba, who do you think they're going to take here? Why don't you impart some knowledge on us?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Knowledge.
I got no idea what they're going to do right here. Truthfully,
I've been trying to figure it out backdoor by saying, okay, who would the Cowboys take?
Kaiir Elam,
cornerback, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a cornerback out of Florida. So I thought they would take Booth. So they were
kind of
worried.
both on the same tier. So
They
I
were
can
worried
see
that
it.
the Cowboys would take. They would take him. So that's 4 corners. One more corner, and it's Xbox time, boys and girls.
So why
Oh my
does Johnson keep falling?
Oh my Lanta.
We are laughing.
We are so back, though. I mean, like that little cornerback swing, even though the Patriots just got absolutely hosed by this like double trade cornerback extravaganza, bro. Andrew Booth Jr. to the Patriots. Make it so.
I can see that.
Am I mock-
I mean,
am I-
Devin Lloyd and Dean are both still out there too, so you can't go wrong with anybody.
Is Devin Lloyd still there?
By the way, I
Introduced?
know
So,
I know Pat McAfee is having Rodgers on his show. I wonder if they dared have him when Green Bay made their first pick. That's all I gotta say. All right, I'm done.
Oh boy.
oh yeah, Quay Walker right now is the only linebacker off the board.
So if the Bills were that scared that the Cowboys are going to take a corner, do the Cowboys take a corner here, or do they trade back or abandon plans? I mean, like, what kind of intel did they have to give up assets to do that? You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of strange. It's kind of strange. They must have had some sort of reason to believe that the Cowboys would take Kyer Elam, or that maybe the Patriots were going to try and trade back up to that spot,
Wait,
or some.
did Buffalo take Karlaftis?
No. Kyrie
Oh, okay, they're just showing him. Okay,
Yeah. So
I was just
that-
really confused.
I guess that's the other narrative would be that the Ravens called the Bills and said, "Hey, this team's gonna trade up and take this cornerback if you don't trade up." That, you know, those conversations could be going on. There could be a lot of stuff like that going on here.
Okay, so I think Dallas is going to take Karlaftis or Jermaine Johnson now. After losing Randy Gregory, the fact that they're still available at this point, I thought that
Both
they
of
would be
those are
gone,
just
long gone.
Awesome.
Yeah.
picks.
I thought they'd be long gone. This is insane.
Jermaine Johnson had what, like top 10 pick steam, lately. Like
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
It was the
Putting
Jets.
him in with that line, that D line would be sick.
Yeah.
The Jets were throwing that out there.
I think that makes a lot of sense, bro.
Karlaftis has
Yeah.
slid a lot
Well-
from where he was.
And I think that, we could conceivably take Lloyd or Dean and then move Parsons back to that like edge rusher role that he had early on in the season back when DeMarcus Lawrence was out. But I think a pure edge rushing type would make more sense here.
I don't know. I don't see why. I mean, Zerline was so bad last year. You probably should just they already released him. You probably just go with a kicker here.
Might as well. Jerry said he wanted to make a splash. A kicker would make a damn splash.
Huge splash, dude.
Like a turd in the punch bowl.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Impemba, you got any predictions for this Cowboys pick?
Pain.
Yeah, I mean, they should keep. I think they should keep building the defense. Truthfully, they're offensively there. I think they're pretty strong. So, yeah, I don't know.
I think this whole draft has just been about from pick 10 on has just been like one big shift, like Inception with like the rooms trading and stuff like that. It's just been mind blowing, and it's really hard to keep track of because nothing makes sense at this point anymore. So
Jermaine Johnson and Karlaftis, like, I feel like at this point in the draft, you just like, because I know people like didn't like him for whatever reason or not at the very top where they were kind of being projected, but at this point, I mean, I feel like now it's become such a value that even if you didn't like the players at the top of the draft, now you got to kind of like them. And to answer your question, JB, if the Patriots draft Andrew Booth Jr., I'm not worried about the hernia issue. If the Patriots don't draft him, then obviously it's a massive red flag, and I'm glad they didn't.
because Belichick knows all.
That's my thoughts on that.
There's something that Pixwise just tweeted out. Jermaine Johnson was a minus 225 bet to be a top 10 pick today. He is still on the board. So pretty heavy favorite to be a go top 10, and he's falling.
Dude,
Jerry
Cowboys,
Jones, Jermaine Johnson, let's go.
That means that the Cowboys looked into CeeDee and potentially Jermaine here. And you just said his name. I'm sorry. My mind is totally blank.
Who is
Oh,
it?
dude.
The edge rusher that they got last year. That was the
Micah Parsons.
Micah. Thank you.
Yo,
I forgot Parsons going to get his first name.
I forgot that in my mock draft, I had the Bills taking Khair Elam at 25. So
that's a servo.
That's a servo point. Yeah. That's about it. That's like a high quality servo point too. 20, take him at 23 versus 25. Give me that. That's like two-thirds servo point.
Does Dan Quinn have like the easiest job right now with all the talent in Dallas to coordinate? Like,
he better.
That's definitely you get a coaching hire after this, and then you just are terrible.
It's the Wade Phillips. It's the Wade Phillips career path. It's awesome coordinator, get a job, get fired, leave, go be a coordinator, get another job, lather, rinse, repeat.
Yep. No, I agree with that.
You can make a 40-year career out of doing just that.
Oh my gosh. Is it bad that I'm just really nervous? All of the sadness has turned into nervousness at this point.
I mean, you could be getting wherever the Packers took. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. I think that Jerry could do something very, very
Gary,
stupid.
Will you leave our poor sweet Kevin alone?
I wanted them to do right.
I mean, it's just crazy because they could have taken any linebacker too.
Yeah, and then you take Walker.
What if he's awesome though?
He might be, but I would rather take somebody who played like at a super high level of competition, like Lloyd.
At least he's going to be able to play, unlike a recent first-round pick.
Yeah, that's very true. Man,
the only way that
this could Atlanta.
The only way that this could get like neutral is if they end up taking like Watson or Pickens or like Sky Moore.
Great point in the chat just now from Kevin Perry, because the Bills were the team that was supposed to take them. So now, I mean, the Titans aren't going to do it. The Bucks maybe, but probably not. Packers won't. Patriots won't. Chiefs won't. Bengals won't. Vikings won't. Like, you have a couple picks where it's maybe a possibility, but it's not really realistic anymore.
Yeah.
I don't see a world in which the Bucks waste a pick on that type of position when they know they can run Leo into the ground, and he does exactly what Tom wants him to.
Yeah.
But maybe.
Well, they just drafted Keyshawn Vaughn a couple years ago. Like, are they going to give up on him so soon? Because they did release, they let Rojo walk in free agency.
He hasn't exactly helped his own cause.
They got Gio Bernard. He had a 55-yard touchdown last year. It looked pretty explosive.
For that one play.
Taking their
he had 55-yard touchdown, and he had like 57 yards on the season.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, I really do think that they're trying to decide between defensive end and another stud linebacker, because Van Der Esch becomes a free agent after this year too. It's kind of thin depth-wise.
Trying to trade back.
I think they're trying to decide between Johnson and one of the linebackers. Oh, just pick already, Jerry.
Come on, Breer. What are you doing? Nothing.
Oh, pick is in.
Radio silence for Albert Breer.
Breer's on the radio right now. That's the problem. We need to get him off. He's on
Tyler Smith.
NBC.
No?
What?
Is that real?
Is that the tackle?
Tackle.
Hold on. Let me see.
What? From Tulsa.
Impemba, why didn't you have that?
Never even heard of the guy.
This is real.
Impemba, we brought you on here to get all these picks.
Raymond and in front of Lucas. So Tyler Smith. Oh,
break it down for us. You know these guys.
Well, yeah. So he wasn't a Power 5 like, Icky and Evan Neal, but he actually led the FBS in big time blocks, like over Icky and Neal. So like, he's a great run blocker. But then again, like, he's from Tulsa. You look at that level of competition, and they must have saw something. I don't know. They're paid to do the scouting. I don't feel bad about shoring up that line, but I wish it would have been
given
more
all
splashy.
the injuries, it seems that offensive line suffers through every year. They could definitely use the depth.
And they got rid of Collins and Connor Williams too. So the depth is definitely needed. But damn, it would have been fun to just see a mean defense. It's so I had my hopes so high.
I've
And
heard
they're
you say many a
crushed.
time though that you
The cowboy mug. Cheers to the Cowboys picking a dude that no one cares about or heard of.
Yeah.
Look,
Like
the three.
everybody on this cup.
You know what? Now, and Gary's team doesn't even have a pick, and our team's all screwed up. So great stream, guys.
I got really lost in it, and I forgot to actually. Well,
Hey, there it is.
What you got there?
Nothing. Forgot that there's another one coming.
Nothing.
All right, so now the Ravens. Are the Ravens going to trade back for like a 15th time here?
Yeah, to the Bills. So
Again.
they can get Brees. I still think of the Brees to Bills. I don't understand it whatsoever. They have a great running back. It makes no sense to me. I mean, I get that Brees is great and everything, but
Makes no sense at all.
there's no reason whatsoever.
JV, yeah, they had a lot of vacated penalties when they lost.
Connor Williams, yeah.
They lost Connor Williams. So
Somebody will figure out to pick up the slack.
they had to
It
figure.
really
they
is
bring
like
in-
vacated
bring in
targets,
Smith.
vacated penalties.
Vacated penalties they needed to fill in. Yeah.
So what's the
Damn it.
world here where the Ravens just get Johnson and they just luck into this otherworldly defensive player like the Ravens do it feels like every year, if not at least every other year.
I hope they take a cornerback.
It's
I just
crazy.
honestly, you're like very highly invested in this at this point.
I thought they would take Trent McDuffie earlier. So
Fluffy McDuffie.
McDuff, he should have been on my team. Then I would have had Floofy
Well-
Luffy, and Fluffy
And
McDuffie.
Fluffy
I
McDuffie.
would have had everything I needed.
But honestly, McDuffie would have fit in like perfectly with that Ravens zone scheme. And I don't know. What do we know? I ask myself
don't know,
this
ask
after
about
the draft every year. Yeah.
We just don't know.
Who's gonna
Well,
take-
there's always Green Bay's pick at 28 to
Is there a wide
Right,
receiver right
needs to-
here that the Ravens need to take because their best wide receiver is, well, I guess Bateman, so like he's legit. But besides that,
Sky
nothing.
Moore.
Well, I will say if another receiver goes, it'll be the first time that a seventh receiver has been picked in the first round since 2004 and the second time ever. So we could see history.
2004. I'm trying to think of that class.
Yep.
Wasn't that the one that dude, the former quarterback, was it Matt Jones? Is that draft?
From Arkansas?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got, well, I can't probably say it, but I'll tell you guys off air what happened in Fayetteville one time with Matt Jones.
Oh boy.
Heyo.
It was in the realm of extremely stupid things that rich people do.
That was 2005. Sorry.
Okay.
Close.
Oh,
I'm going to go
man.
look up that class right now.
It's not a real lot of memorable people, I don't think.
Fitzgerald. That was the Fitzgerald draft. Roy Williams. They took Reggie Williams. I knew they took a wide receiver. I just couldn't think of him for the life of me. Lee Evans. Michael Clayton.
Yeah.
Lee Evans was kind of nice for a little bit for the Bills.
For that game. No, he was solid.
He had a game.
They had what? That was him and like Peerless Price and
Stevie Johnson. Stevie Johnson might have been a little bit later.
that was later, I think.
Andre Reed.
I think that was post Eric Moulds. I think they traded him to Tennessee at that time.
Was it Andre Reed they had? Or that's Andre Reed was a while ago too.
Yeah, well, he had gone. I think he went to he was playing with Washington end of his career.
I feel like Impemba's been really quiet, and yet he knows exactly who his pick's about to be.
I'm just working, I'm updating our draft tracker. I'm tweeting things out, just-
Somebody's got to do it. Yo, did you finish that? Did you finish that Marquis Brown trade article yet? Or
Yeah, I actually forwarded it to you with a blank doc and said, fill this out. So,
I'll write it tomorrow morning. I promise.
yeah.
Fantasy
after you
alarm.
do
A
your
great
Wednesday-
place to work.
Yeah.
That's right. We're look at the smiles on our faces.
Yeah.
Listen,
I've been awake since 4:30 this morning, still going.
football drives the bus. People have to understand that, So anytime we can get any ounce of football content,
I got you. There will be an article.
We get it on site, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Squeeze blood from a stone. That's the Andrew Cooper method right there.
Listen,
Right, Doug. Right.
you want
Plus,
to
I
reach
gotta-
the levels. You got to do the work.
That's right. We're doing it. All right. What's the Hey, Impemba, did you see earlier today Massachusetts Senate approved sports betting?
Yeah, but it's not real.
What do you mean it's not real?
Tell me what.
Please
Tell me
elaborate.
why.
Like
Tell me
salary
why.
cap not real or
No, because so the House approved a bill in 2021, and then the Senate approved a different bill today, but they're still pretty far apart as to agreeing as to what exactly the two bills are. One doesn't have college betting, one does. One has like a higher tax rate than the other. There's still, I feel like there's ways to go before anything actually gets approved, but at least it's a step in the right direction. So
You mean
Yeah.
I still have to drive 15 minutes into Rhode Island if I want?
yeah, you do at least. I'm like a half an hour either way, whether New Hampshire or Rhode Island or Connecticut, so
You mean I have to pull my smartphone all the way out and text my buddy to place a bet still? Unbelievable.
can we admitting that on a live stream, Coop?
He lives in Rhode Island. It's legal.
Yeah, that's true.
On the live stream. Yeah. Okay. Well, who's on the clock here? I feel like
Still the
things
Ravens.
were
The pick is
flying.
in for the Ravens.
Things were
Okay.
flying until Albert Breer took a freaking break. Now it's
Right.
There's nothing that's come out about this Ravens pick. Trust me, my thumb is getting tired.
like when this-
Ravens
this
pick
string goes out.
Linderbaum. It looks like Linderbaum so far.
interesting.
Yep, Linderbaum. Center
Wow.
from
Who
Iowa.
did David Blaine say they picked?
David Copperfield.
I will pick the first 25 picks.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that he probably had some combination of everything in that box.
He pulls out a draft card. Was this your card?
Yeah. Wait, and then pulls it out from behind somebody's ear. Wait, was
Right,
this
yeah.
your card?
He gets dunked in a cage like in the bottom of like Lake Tahoe, and then
So it's
out
Linderbaum
with
is
draft
Linderbaum is the pick.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they allowed a bunch of sacks, so kind of. Ugh.
Yeah.
This draft is so unsexy lately.
Yeah, it was cool.
Whoa.
for a
Picks
while.
went early.
Literally, it's a bell curve of sexiness.
Tyler
They
Linderbaum.
had all those trades and all
The
those wide
middle of it
receivers
was
went off the
just
board, so.
pure erection. And then on either side, it was like, okay.
Meh.
Does that count as a swear?
Well, you already swore, so it's moot at this point.
Tyler
It's so weird
Linderbaum.
that the Titans are about to have a pick.
You don't think Tyler Linderbaum is sexy?
I'm going to tell him you said that.
He's
with a
about
name like Tyler Linderbaum.
It
He's
sounds
gonna
like
come on.
bum.
He's going to come out of the podcast and do a dance just to prove you wrong.
Oh, Fensty's
Probably.
here. Nice, dude. Yeah.
Yes.
He's about as sexy as Creed Humphrey.
Man,
Yeah, Creed Humphrey looks exactly like someone I would expect
To be named
Creed
Creed
Humphrey, with the name Creed Humphrey
Right.
to look like.
Is blocking for Lamar Jackson the most stressful position as a center or the least stressful?
Most. Your head's down.
Most, right? You have no idea what's happening behind you.
yeah, like which
And when
direction
to
he's
go
going,
forward,
what's
when to go
happening.
left.
And then he
Yeah.
scrambles and your hands are outside the pads and you're screwed.
Like that drill where they have the ball and they're like, this way, this way, this way. Like that's just Lamar, right?
Yeah, has to be. Well, I mean, it makes sense though, because you're competing in a division where you face the Steelers 2 times a year, and the Wonder with all of his sack potential. It makes sense.
We got the Jets trading up to 26.
Whoa,
Oh,
really?
I don't
Howard,
that.
are you still in the chat, bro?
Howard just woke up.
Yeah. The Jets might do something. Wow.
Maybe the
So
Packers will.
taking 3 first-round picks. Wow.
I'm watching Tyler Linderbaum right now, like mat wrestling with the old school helmet, like with the chin strap. Dude's legit.
Yeah.
I'm sold. Why couldn't Green Bay take him?
Well, he apparently had a 99 overall draft score, so there's that.
That's how you do it in Madden, by the way. That's how you draft.
I mean, yeah.
Dude, so if they wanted Linderbaum the whole time, they kind of killed this draft then, right? Because like there were rumors that Linderbaum would slide, and then they were able to trade back multiple times and still get their guy. I think that's exactly how you want your team to do it now. If that was the guy that they wanted the whole time.
Yeah.
So we talked about teams that were willing to take Brees. I saw a lot of smoke with Brees to the Jets to pair him with Carter. I personally never really believed it, but
that would completely ruin Michael Carter. Not that
I never really understood it because of that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Howard was saying it the other way. Michael Carter did have some big.
They took Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah,
that's who they
did. 35, 69, 163 for 26 and 101.
Jets fans have to be pumped about that because there was a lot of talk about them taking Jermaine Johnson at like 4, right?
Yeah.
So for them to go and get him here, man, that's a huge pick for the Jets fans.
That's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. With 2 Patriots fans in the chat and 1 Patriots fan coming into the chat shortly, it's awesome for the Jets to have such an awesome draft, Gary. Thank you.
No, it's great. Like, I mean, they didn't. I mean, what they actually traded.
Super. It's super. You're right. It is great. You're an NFC fan. You don't have to worry about the Jets.
Dude, I hate when my kid gets to always play with the toy, which is a shiny trophy belt for like years and years. And for once is like, hey, there's another kid in the yard, not even close to taking my belt, but I'm still going to be like, no, screw them. That's Patriots fans.
Yeah, that's us.
Well, we got our third guest in the chat here. Let's just bring him on in and let's just keep making a party. Joey Cartolano. Joey, how you doing, brother?
Joey C.
Good. How you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome. Now that you're here, bud.
Yeah, I heard you guys saying that Jermaine Johnson's a great pick, and obviously by the pre-draft rankings, you would say so. But I mean, did he get arrested in Vegas last night or something, and no one told us? Like, what happened here?
Seriously,
his fall was wild. You know,
What
that's
happened?
an NFT now.
I don't know, maybe he was hanging out with Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, doesn't it just something stinks there, doesn't it?
Yeah, for him to fall that far. I mean, it's funny that maybe they were the only ones creating the smoke screen for him at 4, and then eventually they were just like, all right, well.
I was going to say, because he was a late riser. It's not like he was one of these locked-in top 10 guys the whole process.
Yeah,
This
I don't
is
know,
wild.
man. So, Joe, how do you feel about the Pats trading back, man, as a Patriots fan yourself?
I mean, it's the least surprising thing of all time, but at the same time, McDuffie and Quay Walker are the 2 guys I wanted, and to see them just go right there is just painful.
Yeah, I was big on McDuffie, and I mean, so Kev is a Packers fan. He wasn't really loving the Quay Walker pick. Why are you so high on Walker?
I just think SEC linebackers. I mean, you can't go wrong there. I think there's just such a floor. You know that pick's not going to bust. They may not be elite, but you're going to get something.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
I mean, Georgia played the gauntlet, right?
But why take him over like a Devin Lloyd or a Nakobe Dean? Like, what sets him apart?
Yeah, in the modern NFL, obviously, like Dean's this faster guy. I feel like Belichick traditionally loves bigger, oversized linebackers, like your McGinnis and your Hightowers of the world, which is why I never thought Dean was an option, even though they desperately need speed and coverage on defense. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows with Bill?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dean has been said to be undersized. So, I mean, could turn out to be a good pick for you, Kev. I wouldn't dismiss him before he gets out in the field, at least.
No, I mean, I'm not out and out dismissing him. It just, I just don't like the positional value there at 22 with, the Raymond's out there. I mean, Tyler Smith was out there. I would have preferred a tackle. I would have preferred someone on the defensive line, even a corner or safety versus inside linebacker, which is a position they've never really, put any kind of draft capital into until like now. I mean, the last inside linebacker I could think of was probably Hawk. Now that I think about it.
AJ Hawk. So did the
AJ Hawk.
so who's
Well-
on the
Can I interrupt with just a quick trade? So the Jags have moved up. They've traded the 33, 106, and 180 for 127. Sorry, for 27. I said that poorly. So Jags are on the clock. Bucks move back to the beginning of the beginning of the second. I can't talk.
I'm sure you guys have talked about this, but how bad does the Christian Kirk move just look? Like the more these wide receiver moves happen, it's just insane.
Yeah.
so expensive?
Well,
Yeah, I saw the tweet that said Christian Kirk goes for $72 million and AJ Brown just went for a first and 4 for $100 million.
Or Joe, maybe, right? Maybe I was just ahead of my time in our dynasty league when I traded Aaron Jones straight up for Christian Kirk a few years ago.
Yeah.
I just knew, I was like, this guy looks like a guy that's going to get paid in 4 years.
Yeah, he's going to play with like a
Probably
generational quarterback. And
He's not going to play well. He's not going to play well, but he's going to get paid well.
That being said,
Well-
I think Baltimore made a great move moving Brown. I mean, with an expiring contract to get a first for him. Oh my God, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's to appease Kyler because they played together in college.
Yeah. Rashad Bateman to the moon on that one, right?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh,
he's the every snap guy now.
Yeah,
And
they,
they
got
only
a first, and they said just take a third. We don't want to pay this guy, so here's a third. But what we take your like, I mean, it was just amazing. It was great.
And when that's the flip side of the using all the tight ends and using all the tackles is that, you know, like Nick Boyle's not a threat for targets. Patrick Ricard's not a threat for targets. So it just kind of, it really consolidates the targets among the real pass catchers on the field. So
Not
that's
to
why
mention-
yeah.
The pie is bigger than people give it credit for. Weren't they sneaky like top 10 in attempts last year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For the first time, like ever in Greg Roman's career. So,
Yeah.
you know, I doubt they revert back to what he was doing before. So, I mean, it could be interesting, man. I mean, like, if you're only going to have Mark Andrews and Bateman on the field most plays, then the target, they could both get well over 100 targets. So,
Yeah.
definitely a sneaky spot.
Yeah. Well, John, I know you got a lot of work to do, having to take over for Coop for pretty much all of his duties while he's sitting on stream here,
It's something like
rolling his eyes.
Unbelievable. Yeah, somebody's got to, John, you got to roll your eyes for me, dude. I mean,
that. Roll
I've
your
been-
eyes for you?
I've been fired twice now today. I've been fired 2 times. Once by Howard, once by John.
I never fired you. I was just saying,
You actually did text me yesterday and you said you're fired.
The
Is
lack
that
of
not-
Andrew
Airbag.
Cooper is on the clock.
Is that not true that you texted me yesterday and said you're fired?
I did. It's true. He keeps on trying to tell me my text messages him go to his iPad when he doesn't want to do something. you
That
know?
did happen. That
Yeah.
did happen. I have the screenshots.
Yeah. Same.
Devin Lloyd.
So
Here, finally. Damn,
that's a good
that's a great trade up. Like with him still sitting out there, this guy is a versatile all-purpose beast.
Yeah.
All right, John,
See,
you
now
want to
they should have taken Evan Neal overall now that they got a linebacker.
leave us with some imparting wisdom, maybe a little prediction on what the Patriots do in a couple
yeah, the
picks?
Patriots trade out.
No question.
outta
I'm ready to get hurt again.
Get out of here,
All
dude.
right, that's what they're doing. See you guys
Thanks,
later.
John.
How
Later,
many
John. Thank you,
how many
man.
6-round picks do we get?
4.
Perfect. All right, cool. Then we'll have 8.
The tale as old as time.
I'll get you, buddy. Good to see you.
Later, brother.
Oh my god, bro. Ooh, nice graphic. Look at Joey
There
C
we go.
sliding in there.
Yeah.
Love it.
Kevin, you're seamless with this stuff tonight.
The Chris Collinsworth
Yeah,
sliding.
Yeah.
So for those of you guys that don't know, Joey's was doing fantasy stuff way before me. Pretty much got me into it. We went to school together. He was writing for PFF. Took a little hiatus, and I convinced him to come back and do some rookie stuff because he's just better at it than I am. Like writing about these rookie running backs, wide receivers. I'm like, I'm literally just gonna have to ask Joe who I should like so that I can write it. I was like, why don't you come on and write it? So thank you for coming on and doing that, Joe, and thanks for joining us for the stream, man.
Yeah,
Really
of
appreciate
course. Yeah, I mean, dynasty leagues are my passion for sure. I love college football, so it obviously goes hand in hand. I mean, so I'm sure you guys have talked about the rookies and the receiver runs and everything, but I had Burks as wide receiver 1. I know he obviously wasn't first in terms of draft capital, but man, I mean, those vacated targets by AJ Brown, established quarterback in Tannehill, I love him.
You see Britt's
Joey,
eyes.
She's a married woman, Joey. Come on.
she's glowing right now with the review. There.
I'm just so sad.
She's an Arkansas and Cowboys fan, Joe, so she was really hoping that the magic could happen.
Yeah.
I hear these people saying Cowboys trade for Debo, Cowboys draft Burks. Like, you just signed Gallup. I know he's coming off the ACL. You got Lamb on his rookie deal. Like, there's other positions here.
Yeah.
You
got rid of Coop for a reason.
Well, his contract was too expensive. That's the
Well,
reason.
that's why you don't trade for Debo. Like,
No,
Well,
I
that's a
didn't think
Christian
that they
Kirk.
would trade for Debo, but you know how Jerry Jones loves his Arkansas players. You know, if he
Yeah.
has a chance to grab them, he will.
Felix
But-
Jones.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yikes. Well,
Which
if
is
we're
so
talking
good.
about wide receivers here, I think it might be time to give away a jersey here.
Ooh,
Yeah.
should we do it?
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
mean,
give
we
away the
kept our-
jersey before the Packers pick.
But the Vikings pick at 32 now. It would have been so
Do you want
perfect.
to do this before or after this Packers pick? So I don't want to interrupt you with like they took not wide.
I thought we were holding off to give it away during the Vikings pick at 32.
We can. We can do it to the nitty gritty,
Yeah, let's do
and
that.
then they'll trade out.
Right, probably.
And then they'll trade out. Yeah, maybe.
This is
I
the
don't
way
know.
that
Yeah. So okay. So Joe, who do you have? So you had Burks at 1. Give us a
Yeah.
little rundown of how. Like, I know it's
Yeah,
tough to
like a
ask you
rookie
on the
draft.
spot if the draft
Yeah.
capital changes it, but like, how are you feeling now?
Yeah, I mean, generally, I try not to like draft capital influence me too much, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, it's just a very predictive metric at the end of the day. So, I mean, if you're talking a dynasty draft right now, I mean, I think Hall, even though he hasn't been taken, is still sitting there at 1, assuming he goes in the next, 15 or 20 picks. And then I think Burks is an easy wide receiver 1 right now. I mean, if you're going short term, I guess London probably has the most opportunity for targets after that. I also like him with his age adjusted production. I'm not sold on his long term upside in the NFL. I think he's going to be more of a possession receiver. I always had Olave over Wilson. I know that was kind of a hot take. But given where they landed, and again, this is my Patriots bias showing, but I probably would still lean that way with Wilson going to the Jets. Jameson, I mean, I love that move for Detroit.
Yeah.
Moving up and getting him. I know that he only has the 1 year of production, but man, it was elite. I think he had like 60 or 70 catches and 18 of them were touchdowns. So like a third of his catches were touchdowns, averaged 20 yards a catch. Love that for them. They have a sneaky good offense all of a sudden, Detroit. I mean, obviously Goff has his limitations, but I mean, you look at the line, they took Sewell and they got the interior guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown to go with Jameson, Hawk, and Swift. I mean, that offense is sneaky loaded.
And Chark.
Packers
No,
are not going wide receiver here.
Amon-Ra St. Brown to bring water out to Chark. And
Gary, what was that?
Packers are not going wide receiver. They're going Devontae Wyatt.
what?
Yeah, defensive lineman.
I mean, he's a beast. I mean, a lot of people had him as a top interior defensive lineman in the draft.
Yeah,
For-
I mean, he
it's for
pairs
sure.
well with Kenny Clark. It's disappointing a little bit.
I'm sorry,
So,
Joey.
for you playing the fantasy
No, you're
alarm,
good.
what's up?
I said I was apologizing to Joey for interrupting him.
Oh.
You're good. You're good.
Well, with that news, I think we can ask another question for the last draft guide that we're going to give away of the night. If there's
Can I win this?
people
I
in
need
the
something good
chat-
in my life.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Since I've been
Honestly,
I've
maybe-
been fired, so I actually kind of need to win one too.
Kev just put himself in the Justin Jefferson jersey drawing so that he can end the night on a high note.
It's true. That's true.
All right. So, who or when was the last time that the Green Bay Packers drafted a wide receiver in the first round of the NFL?
Not 2022.
Definitely not 2022.
Kev, do you know this one?
I do.
Yeah, he does.
Is it
I don't know
A,
this one.
2010,
Read the text
B,
message.
2002, C, 1999, or D, 1995? Mm-hmm. That's not an option, Kevin.
He's throwing out the lurkers.
Right.
Why don't you read the options again?
Well, I don't have them written down, so.
All right, Joe, you got a guess?
Me? I would go B, 2002, but I don't know for sure.
Do you know who it would be if it's 2002?
Donald Driver?
Yes.
He was actually 99. He was a 6th round pick.
Yeah, I was going to say he probably wasn't that highly ranked. Honestly, if it 90, was Sterling Sharp a first round pick? Is that the 95 one? I don't know.
No, he was not a 95, but we do have a correct answer. It is B. It was in 2002, and it was Javon Walker, who then they found, I believe.
How are you still a Packers fan?
Can we have the next trivia question for giving this away? How many years will it be until we have an updated answer to the question?
So there you go. Congrats to Joe Von Sack, winner of a Fantasy Alarm draft guide. So I'll reach out. Joe, put your Twitter handle in the chat so we can reach out and make sure you get that. All right, buddy?
Yeah, I can take care of it on my end. So I'll reach out to you guys via Twitter and grab y'all's emails and make sure y'all have Fantasy Alarm accounts.
Yep.
But if everybody else listening is interested in some more goodies that Fantasy Alarm has for the upcoming NFL draft season or just season in general, the NFL DFS Playbook Pro is now on sale through May 1st. Use the promo code NFL Draft for 30% off. You get all seasonal, all DFS content, all of our premium Discord, our draft guide, all that fun stuff. And you also get a free subscription to MLB DFS Pro. So go check that out because that is a deal.
Yeah, it's crazy because both those, those cost like $200 alone. You get 30% off and get both of them. So I mean, it's just, and as far as MLB goes, there's a lot of DFS to be played. Those dudes are playing every single day, except for like a week in the middle of the summer when it's the All-Star break. So big value.
Yep, 100%. And Yahoo Fantasy Football Leagues are now open. So go sign up for free. Get your league started today. football.fantasysports.yahoo.com for more information. So your redraft, your get in because it's football is year round now and the doors are open at Yahoo. So
all right, Joe,
get in there.
Tell me right now, we're taking Andrew Booth Jr. Is that what's happening? Kyler Gordon,
Clemson kid.
Cornerback time? Is it time? What do you think? We're on the clock.
I can see it. I mean, it's got to be cornerback or linebacker. I feel like. I mean, they can make do with what they have on the offensive line. I feel like Parker was their mover receiver. They signed those tight ends last year. There's only so many running backs they can take. It's got to be defense.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's where I'm at. Once we got Parker, I wasn't as interested in a wide receiver, especially because so many have gone off the board.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be crazy for us to take Sky Moore right now when we have like all these, we have Kendrick Bourne look really good and Nelson Aguilar's fine. Jacoby Myers gets it done. It's like when you run 2 tight end sets, why do you need? We already have 4 wide receivers. Why do we need 5?
And Jonnu Smith can't be any worse than he was last year. You would have to imagine he gets better.
I think Jonnu Smith is a guy who he's good versus zone, and he just happened to get hurt in those games. Like if you look at the second Jets game, he got 7 looks in the first 2 drives before he hurt his shoulder. Like he should have had games against the Jets. He should have had games against the soft shell zones of the Chargers. And it was just a weird timing that, the way he got hurt. So I think he's going to have a better year. And I think we don't need a wide receiver here. Please.
Great.
Give me
a good guard.
Yeah. Before you came
on. For real?
Cole Strange. Is that it?
Yep.
I think that's fine.
We took a guard.
We took Cole Strange. Yeah. He's a big boy.
Too many Pats fans in one podcast.
I'm okay with that. He was the 3rd best after Zion and Kenyan Green. I wanted Kenyan Green, but he went crazy early.
I'm not. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, me?
I just said, he went super crazy early.
I'm not too familiar with him, but I would imagine he's a guy that could probably play center in a pinch too.
So that's what they actually. A lot of people have him projected to be the center. To play center.
Oh, okay.
He's like a really from what I've heard about the guy, he's got an interesting build, kind of top head. He's like, when you look at him, he doesn't look big. He doesn't look like he weighs 300 pounds. He's kind of a slim build and like slim top heavy. So they basically say that like he might not be able to start at guard right away because he doesn't have great range in pass blocking, but for like zone running, he's supposed to be really good. So I imagine we did our homework, or I'm at least hoping we did. But yeah. I wanted a corner there. I'm surprised that we passed up on McDuffie and then still took a guard, but we needed the help.
Well, Belichick's a genius. I mean, you know that he works his weird wizard magic with all of these unknown players from little tiny schools that nobody else would have thought about drafting, and then they become to be Hall of Famers. Like, it's just insane.
Yeah. A lot different when Matt Patricia's coaching instead of Dante Scarnecchia, though.
Yeah, for real. Scarnecchia's a legend, bro.
He is.
Well, good on the Patriots for getting them some strange.
Kevin, I was taking a drink.
I just realized Green Bay has taken the last 3 first rounders are all from Georgia. Stokes last year and
okay.
Yeah.
They have a type.
They have a type.
Georgia, not wide receiver.
Yeah, I would have thought Pickens might have been an option there.
Apparently, there have just come out to be a ton of character concerns with him. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know the details on it, but I guess the way that he's interviewed has just been really, really bad.
Yeah.
Because you would have to interview really bad to fall that far with his talent. So,
yeah. I'm a sucker for early breakout SEC wide receivers like Burks.
I know. Hate it. Yeah. It's still, I'm going to have nightmares about that tonight. Going to have to become a Titans fan. Ugh.
Huge.
At least they're in the other conference.
Get one of those thumbtack jerseys, the flaming thumbtacks, or whatever their logo is.
Yeah, it's very strange. You know, the cool thing about being a Titans fan, though, is that their stadium's right off Broadway. So it's a pretty fun experience going to a game, I guess.
Can you get a throwback Oilers jersey of a 2022 rookie wide receiver? Is that allowed? Can you pull that?
I'm sure anything is possible.
That would be the greatest jersey in the history of jerseys.
Be kind of a Traylon Burks Oilers jersey would be kind of fire. No?
Yeah.
I bet you'd get that customized.
Oh, 100%. You can do anything.
You should just get a hog skin.
You actually can't.
Wear it, and that would just be a great Traylon Burks jersey. Be like, what's that? I'd be like, Traylon Burks hobbies.
Yeah, just carry around
like a Viking.
Carry around a bunch of dead fish.
Does Joey know this? Does Joey know what?
Oh yeah, no, I'm aware. When Leviton started just calling him the boar hunter, right?
Yes. And that's what I kept saying to everyone. Like, if you've ever run into a feral hog, they're mean, they're fast, they're big. And this dude kills them with his bare hands and a knife. Like, and you're going to tell me that he's falling down boards because he's slow? Like, nah, bro.
Hey, Joey. Hey, Joey.
Like George Karlaftis.
Okay.
Hey, Joey, you ever run into any feral hogs in Boston?
No. Well, maybe a few in Southie.
In Southie, that's right. Once the bars let out.
Yeah, exactly. But wait, it just occurred to me, though. He's a hog hunter, but he went to Arkansas?
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's a little contradictory.
My high school was the Matadors, and yet our mascot was Bull. So, I mean, contradictions of the current life.
Well, so I want to go go ahead.
I was just going to throw another fun fact in there. Warren, Arkansas is now the home. It's a 5,000 person town. It's now the home of 4 professional NFL wide receivers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to go a little round table here. So I know we've got a few picks left, or a couple picks here left. Who's made out the best in day one here? I'll start with you, Joey.
I hate to say this, but the Giants crushed it. I mean, Thibodeau, and then I feel like they took Thibodeau at 5.
Joey,
oh, did we lose Joey? No.
He just likes to hold that post.
Oh, you're good.
Right. Hey, sorry. Yeah, I feel like the Giants. I mean, I feel like they're sitting there at 5. The 2 tackles are sitting there, and they made the right decision. Said, let's take Thibodeau, who might not be there at 7. No, we're going to get one of the 2 top tackles at 7. I think they just played that perfectly. Obviously, the Jets too. I naming both these teams kills me, but I think the 2 of them just added top tier talent, and the board just really fell right for them.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about guys that a lot of people had going 2 and 3. Like there are a ton of mock drafts that had Thibodeau at 2 and Evan Neal at 4. So I mean, that's a killer.
I mean, if you pay attention to the draft like year round, like if you're a freak like I am, I mean, Thibodeau, he's been slated for that a top 5 pick in this draft for like the last 2 years. I mean, and I feel like it was at some point like people just started overthinking him. I think there might be some slight character concerns. I don't know, like the interview, not like on the George Pickens level, but I feel like that stuff kind of got overhyped over the last couple of weeks, and people were just forgetting the raw talent that's there. And I mean, this guy was just destined to be a top 5 pick this year, and I think the Giants nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no part of the interview like when you walk into the interview at 6'4", 260, running like a 4.5 or whatever. Like you can't fail that interview, bro. Like you can, you know what I mean? You can make fun of my dead grandma and you're still like a top 10 pick. You know, like you can't walk in as Kayvon Thibodeau and fail the interview. You know what I mean? Like, there's just an animal. So
yeah, I think he's just got clowny potential. It's a no-brainer there.
Yeah. So for me, I think the team that when you said I hate to say it, New York, I thought you were going to say what I'm about to say. I hate to say it, but I think New York killed it. They got the best corner. They got the New York Jets. They got the best corner. They got a guy that everyone says has a very good floor in Garrett Wilson. And Joe, even if you like Olave better,
Wilson's still great.
He's still great, right? And then they still got the guy, the smokescreen guy that everyone said that they wanted to take, right? And then all of a sudden they don't take him, and everyone's like, "Oh, that was just a smokescreen." And then it turns out they trade back in and get him too, and Jermaine Johnson. Like they kind of pulled the rug on a lot of people here, because just think about that. If you're like an NFL team, and you're like, "Oh, the Jets were supposed to take Johnson, then they didn't." Well, why didn't they do that? We're not going to do it. And then now they come back around and they're like, "Ha, we actually did want him." You know, it's like I feel like the Jets really, I mean, it's easy to say the team that got 3 first-round picks won the draft, but I get to go second here, and I picked the Jets. So, Britt, you're up.
Yeah, the Jets were the first that came to my mind as well. Like their top 10 picks, they address needs that are going to help them compete in that really stacked AFC East. They got another playmaker to stretch the field to pair with Elijah Moore. And then that crazy trade up to like just take a bargain that was sitting out there just for the taking. It's crazy. I really, really like it. And now I'm excited to watch the AFC East now. Even a couple of years ago, remember how just one-sided it was? Now it's like up for grabs for anyone. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. No, not cool.
Not cool at all.
I'm saying that as an impartial observer. I do feel your pain though.
No. We have no pain. We can't complain after the last 20 years.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We've had too many parades to complain, but still, we don't want the Jets to be good. Let the Bills be good for a little bit. The Bills fans, they're fun. The flaming
real New York team.
That's right. Exactly. Upstate. Dredge the Hudson. All right, Gary, what do you think?
The Saints, man. I really like that the Saints went and got Chris Olave. I think that he's going to pair really well. We've seen Jameson with a really huck it and chuck it kind of quarterback coach, and now it'll be interesting to see what they happen. There's a lot of coaching changes there, but with Michael Thomas as the alpha and Olave to learn from him, and then they went and got Penning to replace Armstead, and I don't really know how you replace Armstead. I mean, he's awesome. So there's a lot going on there, and they were able to still get them. I was just looking at not just the trades this year, but also the trades that have happened in the past, and realizing kind of looking at what is it? The Eagles traded a couple picks to the Saints in 23. First were involved. So there's still a lot of movement there that occurred. I think at last year's draft or earlier on. So that being said, regardless, I mean, getting Olave, I think in that offense is going to be awesome to pair him with Michael Thomas and Kamara, and getting an offensive tackle with Penning. So
I don't see how it's any other team but the Jets, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
Joe Douglas likely had all three of these guys, Wilson, Gardner, and Johnson, top 10. I mean, Johnson was being pretty much steamed all the way up, at least the last couple of days. But yeah, to be able to get those three dudes with those three picks, obviously having to trade up, I think that's just a win. The Jets are, on paper, if they can get some of this talent to gel soon, and Zach Wilson can not be maybe move up to the men's department instead of being in the boys department. Why not?
Yeah.
I have a question
I think,
to the group, though.
yeah, go for it.
Outside of what's happened here, I'm just thinking, like, you have these trades that also occurred, like Russell Wilson and some other people, and all of a sudden it's like, man, I feel pretty good if I traded my first-round pick this year and some other stuff if I'm Denver to get Russell Wilson. So with all of this, I think the Jets are probably the winners, in my opinion, and Denver's a pretty close second relative to total long-term costs and all that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
I mean, you look at a bunch of teams obviously the Rams. How many teams had multiple first-round picks? 8
That's
or
true.
9?
Yeah.
It was a great year to do that. I mean, you look at next year, I think what the Eagles did, I know you were talking about the iterations of the Eagles and Saints from the past couple of years, but this most recent one, I feel like the Eagles and the A.J. Brown really solidified this. They're giving Hurts this year, right? And then they also moved some capital. Hurts this year to prove he's the guy. And then they also moved some capital, still have 2 bullets in the gun in next year's first-round pick with Stroud and Young coming out to still be players in that if Hurts doesn't end up being the guy. So I think like long term, I think the Eagles are doing great because if Hurts isn't going to succeed with Brown and Smith and Goddard and that offensive line, this is the year for him, for Hurts.
Yep.
I changed my pick and say that the Rams won the draft this year. I traded all their picks and win the Super Bowl.
That's just Auntie Koopy talking.
Yeah, that's on a Coop. Shout out, dude. And I actually just lost the draft just now because the Bengals took the one player that could screw up my
Dax Hill.
My CB bet is they took the guy that plays nickel corner, but technically a safety. So the Vikings still need a corner though. They're the last
really
great hope
do.
here. They really do, but they could also use a guy like Sky Moore. So they could use a lot of things, but we'll see what they do. Because the thing with Sky Moore or any wide receiver really is that that this and the real problem is that they pick again at 34. So they could take a cornerback in 2 picks if they want to, which is not in the first round. But
who's in between? Who's got 33?
Tampa Bay.
They're not going to take a receiver. No. So, I don't think they'll take a corner either.
Well,
they might, but so I would take the corner first.
Plus, it's all entertainment. It's all fun anyway. But
yeah,
I am rooting for him to take a corner here, but we'll see.
Well, I think what people in the chat are rooting for is to finally give away that jersey, that Justin Jefferson jersey.
Let's do it.
I think it's time. So let me get this all set up here. Vikings are on the clock, so it's only fitting that with this pick we give away that jersey. So let me get this set up here. You guys talk amongst yourselves while I do this, by the way.
I like James Grant. It's how often do parades in Boston go wrong because your roads are all confusing and awful because everything is a one-way?
It's fair.
It's very true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
That's true.
I
got to comment.
We've had so many chances at the parade route that we got it down at this point.
I don't mean to heap on to the Boston thing, but Joe Douglas, man, I remember when he took over for Tannenbaum, and it was like weird that he didn't get that actual extra draft in the last 2 drafts. He's crushed it.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
All right. So, Joe, I need a number between 1 and 20.
All right. Let's go with 6.
All right. I'm shuffling this 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's time to spin the wheel. I did not put any whammies on this wheel.
No whammies.
By the way, so.
This is so exciting. I should have entered.
Right. We want the jersey.
Could I wouldn't have been eligible.
Oh.
At
Jack.
Sambuca Jack.
Sambuca Jack, dude.
Little Sambuca action. Toss that in with a little Justin Jefferson jersey. You are loving life. So I'm gonna reach out to you on Twitter, get your address, and we're gonna be sending that jersey to you there, Holmes. Congratulations.
Sambuca is gross.
It really is gross.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
not
a
really
Justin Jefferson jersey.
Congratulations.
Wash it down with that Jefferson jersey, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Great. Sambuca Jack Skelton, congrats, my dude. That's a big win right there. That's hopefully he's a Vikings fan, but
I don't think you have to be a fan to like appreciate a Justin Jefferson jersey.
Yeah.
That's true, man.
Like,
a win is a win.
We can all be fans of Justin Jefferson.
We are all fans, absolutely.
It's
Oh,
crazy
man.
that a team isn't trading up to get Willis on the 5th-year option.
Yeah.
Right.
That says a lot.
That's what I think so too.
I mean, that's exactly what the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Well, everybody was talking about like they just got enamored with Willis and like, oh, he can throw so far. But then that was the only aspect of his game that they watched. Like he telegraphs his throws. You can completely tell where he's throwing it. He performed really, really bad against like Power 5 competition. And I think, obviously the scouts know more than we do, like watching somebody run fast in a t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah.
Vikings took a safety.
It is
From my Twitter feed to your mouth, Britt.
Did they take
No.
Lewis? Did they take Lewis sign?
They did. Lewis,
Oh, cool.
That hurts. The over/under for safeties was 1.5.
Oh, wow.
You just missed the cornerback?
Yeah,
Just by
unfortunately.
one.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I
But
still
at
got
least your Xbox. you didn't
Still
open
got
it.
an Xbox.
I still got an Xbox.
Yeah.
I get paid to talk about football, so it's it's just a little.
Wah,
chip.
wah.
Like I said, you can
Well-
probably resell it and make a profit and then buy another one. They're so in
Nuts.
demand.
I need this Xbox.
I need it.
I'm not worried about draft day bets.
Well, you're gonna have to write about all those the draft pick trades to be able to make enough to.
Yeah, it looks like I'll have to write about that Marquis Brown trade after all. All right.
Yeah.
Also, for anybody that didn't know, Coop is doing like a 9-hour stream tomorrow to go through all of these picks. Even if they pick faster, he's still going to take the full 10 minutes himself.
Solo stream. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm going to
hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Dude, this draft, even though it was slow at points, it went faster than last year, did it not? It's
Way faster than
I
last
think
year.
so too.
Because we jumped on like at like the 6th or 7th pick, didn't we?
Yeah.
We didn't go. We weren't there at the beginning, and that was like 3 hours 15 minutes.
It's Britt. She revitalized. She's the fountain of youth.
Or everyone wants to hurry this up to get me off screen. No more talking about Burks. We're tired of hearing Britt talk about Burks.
No. Let's
Those
talk
middle
dynasty
picks
rookie
definitely.
drafts. What like Superflex? Like, could you have a worse year to have the 1-1 in a Superflex draft?
Oh, hell no.
Like,
I don't-
I honestly don't even know if Pickett goes top 5 in a Superflex draft.
Sans the Brees
Yeah.
Hall thing. We'll see.
That's why I never tank. That's why I don't tank. Like at least when I do a start, I tank if I take like an orphan over. But if I'm doing a startup draft, I'm playing a win. Like what is this? Like whoever did a startup and got picks like 2, 3, and 4. Like congratulations, nightmare.
Coop, didn't you in the Besties Dynasty League? Didn't you take what CMC, Elliott, and Barkley?
I don't have
back to
any
back
picks in this draft at all. I don't think I have any picks. I traded my pick.
Wow.
I traded my first round pick in this draft for DK Metcalf.
It's all right. You'll be able to get David Bell in the 8th round. You're good.
I don't need David Bell. My team's amazing.
He's amazing. I don't need him.
My team.
Oh my gosh.
My team's
I
fine.
meant Cincinnati Reds manager.
I got Fournette. I got all sorts of guys. And then my wide receivers are awesome too. I'll be just fine.
David Bell is exactly why I don't do Devy leagues.
But you'd be amazing at Devy leagues.
I know, but it would just be crushing to like have a guy who like was amazing as an 18-year-old and then have him like test terribly athletically and be an absolute nothing in the NFL after holding on to him for 3 years.
He's in my Debbie Best Ball.
Yeah.
I thought Kevin was like, that was me when I was 18.
That's all right. I've got Smith and Jigba. I've got like Sean Tucker. I've got a couple other guys too.
Nice.
So
I'm loading up on 23 first everywhere.
Yep, 23 is going to be
Marvin Harrison Jr. I've got
crazy.
too.
Yep. That's the first night of the 2022 draft, and we're already talking about 364 days till 2023.
The NFL draft heavy bonanza.
That's how disappointing this draft was for all of us. But there were some really great picks for some.
Board.
Yeah,
We'll always have those
there were a
6
lot
picks.
of teams that haven't historically done well in their drafting that did. So it was kind of exciting to see that flip. I just, I'm selfish and I want my team to do well.
There's still, Malik Willis. Yeah, that's the 5th-year option thing with a guy like Malik. That's just wild to me.
Yeah.
That under on the quarterbacks.
Oh,
wild.
Yeah.
What was it? 1.5?
2.5.
It was 2.5.
It was 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
2.5 and 3.5.
Oh,
for
also
wide receivers.
with Green Bay's failure to pick a wide receiver at 28, the under on 6.5 wide receivers chosen hit. So there's still only historically one draft class with 7. So.
Coop, did you know the guard we took is a 6th-year senior who will be 24 in a couple months?
All right, it's been a good stream, everybody. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah.
6 years, dude.
Bill.
So this is a grown man just beating up on kids.
Yeah.
At
Dwayne Eskridge calls him sir.
What is Chattanooga? I want to see Chattanooga's schedule.
It's the Mocks, and everyone thinks that it's the Moccasins, but they're the Mockingbirds.
They're the Mocks. Yeah, that's, by the way, I believe that's where T.O. went.
Oh, it is. You're totally right.
So Cole,
my God.
so you're telling me that Cole Strange could be the next T.O.
Yeah, because he was there in the tournament. They made the
In
tournament
the
this year.
trenches.
That dude could definitely do a sit-up in his driveway.
Dude.
One single sit-up.
T.O. could get 150 targets from Aaron Rodgers right now.
Bro, this is who 6th-year senior, 35-year-old Cole Strange is beating up on. North Alabama Lions. They lost they played Kentucky.
God.
They beat the West Carolina Catamounts. They lost to the VMI Keydets.
The Keydets.
What is ETSU? Dude, what is
like
going
on? State, the Pirates.
Bro,
I feel like we forget that the goal of the Patriots isn't for that second contract. It's to get somebody else to pay for the second contract to cut them so that we can get them for veteran minimum.
Bro. If just
They're playing chess. Everyone else playing checkers.
Bill
pick up that comp pick.
Bill's sitting there watching them play the Furman Paladins, and he's like, "This is
the Paladins. That's a real mascot."
I mean, Jesus,
it really, yes, it is.
Lenore,
they're really big.
Where'd Duggar go?
Lenore Ryan. Lenore Ryan.
Yeah.
The only other person that I've ever heard of that went to Lenore Ryan is the comedian Tom Segura. Not even an athlete.
We talked about this.
Not even an athlete. That's the only time I've ever heard of that school, dude. They played Citadel. The Mercer Bears. Give me all right.
Can we throw up James's comment?
This is done. What do you say?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No.
I need to play a video. I need to boost some kind of spirits. So I won't get to use this. So
Can we also now play the Goodicus video?
It's the middle of the night over
Play
on
the
Facebook.
Goodicus video.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right.
Oh,
That's
man.
it. That's it for me. I'm done.
Yeah.
it's time to shut her down. Well, wait. Isn't one of you on after?
Yep, I'm on an alarm after hours, so I'm gonna go process and cram all this into this tiny brain of mine.
30 minutes.
No, well, I'm honestly surprised that I'm not more tired, but I'm not kidding you when I say that I legit woke up at 4:30 this morning. I was like, it's draft day. Like,
what's in your pocket?
Huh? I don't.
Well,
Christian Watson, no matter what.
Oh, I don't. I've never seen that movie.
I haven't seen it
Well,
either.
I know what you're doing for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh yeah. Well, technically, the Alarm After Hours is on tomorrow, so it's not like you've been working the same.
Well,
day.
not in
For the
Central
rest
Time.
of the day, watch the movie.
Oh wow, yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, who cares about Central Time?
Not all in Boston.
I will just make
Yeah.
a proclamation right now. Since we did not give away the third draft guide, I'm going to randomly.
No, we gave away 3. We gave away 3.
Did
Well,
we?
JB already has a sub though.
JB's giving one to Kev. Impemba said that he could give one to somebody.
Okay. Well, if he doesn't, then Kev, just hold on to that wheel, and then we'll just draw for it again later.
We'll go through everybody that's chatted tonight and randomly
Yeah.
give it away.
Yeah.
That works. And
Howard Bender, congratulations.
I think. No,
On alarm-
honestly, he said that trade up and that pick for Johnson made him feel a lot better. So
much better.
I'm happy
Good,
that
as
his
he
night was
should.
salvaged. Yeah, absolutely. That was a steal. So
On Alarm After Hours, make the case for me that Daxton Hill is actually a cornerback. Would you?
Okay.
See if we can get that changed.
yeah.
That'd
I'll
make
lobby.
me feel a lot better for my wagers.
Okay. I'll do my best.
All right, thank you.
I'll do my best.
Well, the NFL draft day one is in the books here. There's still a lot of quality players out there. I mean, God, Malik Willis, Breece Hall, all the running backs, Sky Moore, Christian Watson, David Njabo. We got all these guys out here. So it's going to be a fun day, too. We won't be here, but we'll definitely be on Twitter, too. Are we doing the draft tracker for day 2 as well? Cool.
I cannot.
Good.
I will be bartending.
Is
tomorrow
that?
night.
I mean,
So
will
I'm
that be?
turning
We'll talk
over
to
the
him.
reins.
I can do it tomorrow. I can't do it Saturday. So we'll talk. That's a little shop talk. That's a little behind the curtain. We'll talk to John
inside
and,
baseball.
We'll talk to John and Howard about that.
Perfect.
Well, everybody that's been in the chat today and interacted, certainly thank you so much from the Fantasy Alarm and from Lightning Round, the merging of the two entities, getting underneath the Fantasy Alarm umbrella. Certainly excited for that. So go also find us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google, everywhere you can find your podcasts. I'm not sure if I'm going to put 4 hours of a podcast. I don't know if anybody's be listening to that. Make this a YouTube only thing, but certainly next Wednesday, we will be back talking rookie landing spots with Mr. Jeff Bell from Football Guys. So that will be certainly a fun conversation with him. Joey, thank you so much for hopping on, brother. Good to actually get to meet you and put a face to the name. And any closing thoughts on day one here?
No, thank you guys for having me as well. It was nice to put a face to the name on my side. And yeah, I think really, I mean, you just look at the positions that went. I mean, the receivers tonight was all about the receivers. That's what I'll say, both trades and the draft. And I think it shows where the league is and where it's going. So
fully agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Make sure everyone out there, we mentioned it briefly, but make sure if you're going on Underdog, use promo code ALARM. If you're going on Yahoo, use promo code ALARM. I mean, if you're playing football anywhere, just plug in ALARM. You'll probably get some money. You know what I mean? Like we got our fingers in a lot of stuff here, but those are the two right now that we're running. And also for the next couple days, it's a draft special. Go on Fantasy Alarm, use promo code what is it right now? NFL Pro or Draft?
Yeah, NFL Draft.
NFL Draft. We're getting 30% off our annual DFS package, which is ridiculous. It's like a $200 package. You're getting a huge chunk off, and for the rest of the year, you get our MLB package too. So it's just a massive deal right now. It's for draft only. I think that was Howard's idea to do the little package to give everything away together, which is crazy. So jump in and do that.
Yep, 100%. And then one more piece of housekeeping here. Gary joined us, for his first stream in at least a few months. Unfortunately, me and Gary made this maiden voyage into Lightning Round last April of 2021. It was us two on this journey, and then we added Andrew Cooper, and then we added Britt, make it a little quartet here. Unfortunately, I hate to say it because I love you like a brother, Gary. I have no siblings, but you're the closest thing I had to a brother. Your last show was tonight.
It was my last show, man. Here we are.
Mm.
It's
not
been
gonna be your-
amazing.
It's not gonna be their last show ever. You're coming on.
Gary's not dead. He's not like
Yeah.
leaving. He's not going to some farm upstate.
I will haunt you guys through technical difficulties like my technology provided for years.
Yeah,
I love it.
But you're coming on as a guest. It's just your last one as like a full-time host, right? Gary?
Yep. There we go. Exactly. So I appreciate it. You guys are absolutely amazing. Joey, I mean, the connection you and I have these past 15 to 30, 45 minutes, I will cherish this the rest of my life. The three of you, though, you guys are some of my closest friends. I love you guys to death. And no matter what, don't create a new text message chain without me titled Gary Sucks, and we'll be okay. Other than that, we're good.
Oh, we love you, Gary.
Gary.
Now I'm gonna cry. It's too emotional.
I do have one request, and I get to take us out with the final word.
100%. The final word is yours, Gary. But I will say this: for Britt, for Ed, for Joey, not for Gary, for Kevin. I'm Kevin. Gary, lead us out.
Toodles.
Yeah.